All right, what's up, guys? So what I want to do is talk more about this Brad Hand signing because I'm reading the comments. I try to get to as many as I can, but I really cannot get to them all. So I do want to talk more about it because I'm seeing a lot of guys say, "Oh, well, you know, Brad Hand, he won the closer's role." And you know what? That's fine. I understand that, and I think Brad Hand personally deserves that because for me, Edwin Diaz, so many people criticized him in 2019 when he first came to the team, and they were like, "Oh, Edwin Diaz, he's not the same guy he was in Seattle. He's blowing all these big time late games." Memphis want to get rid of him. They're like, "Oh, we should cut Diaz." So everyone was very pissed off. Then in 2020, where he gives us a really good season, 2 months, no fans. Now it's like, yeah, exactly. We're mad about it. And that's the other one I get to too, Boomer. I want to get to that as well. But it's just that now it's like, oh, automatically Edwin Diaz is the guy. Like, we don't need Brad Hand to be the closer. So then the other thing about he wants to go to DC. Why? Like, since when did DC become more of a more desirable destination than New York? I always thought that New York was the Mecca. It's a good place to be. Will the Mets get Bauer? It's looking more like that, I have to be honest, because now if it's not Jackie Bradley, I'm just saying, what else is it? Because as much as I want to see them get Suarez, as much as I want to see them get somebody else, maybe Chris Bryant, Nolan Arenado, I think that Sandy does not want to part with more prospects. I think that Bauer is starting to be more realistic as time goes on. Yeah, what's going on in DC? I mean, that's a good point. I mean, things definitely have been crazy lately. So I just am very disappointed. And I understand why people are saying, oh, you know what, he wanted to be a closer. I get that. But I just think that for the contract, and more so that's the division rival, that's the thing that I still am just not happy about, is the fact that we're going to see this guy a lot during the course of the season, and we're going to be like, oh, man, I wish the Mets could get him. Nationally good? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The Nationals just won the World Series a couple years ago, so their team is still very good. Like, they still have the same core. So they're a team that no, it's not too much money. I mean, this is the same money he was going to get. Look at what Liam Hendricks got. Look at what Garrett Richards got. I mean, can you guys believe that the Mets were going to give Garrett Richards $10 million? That was straight up crazy. Like, I mean, Garrett Richards, he's had his good moments. Don't get me wrong. But with all the injury history he's had, the Mets were willing to go $10 million, but not $10.5 million for Brad Hand. I mean, come on now. Bauer's looking more likely. I think they have to be because, I mean, what else are they really going to do? Like, I understand they want to do extensions, but even with the way things are going, I think they still could do the extensions because any other signing, it's going to be a low amount of years. So I think the Mets are still going to allocate the money, and eventually they are going over the tax. Like, I mean, this is Steve Cohen. This is the New York market. We're going to be a big market team. So I do think that's something that is going to happen. So we could work in extensions and stuff like that. But I do think that Bauer's going to have to be a guy. If they get Bauer, do they have a better rotation than the Padres? I think it all depends on how everybody plays out. Like, in a perfect world, if everyone is their best self, I think they could do it. Like, Syndergaard, we know can be good, but we haven't seen that in quite a while. Same goes for Sherman. He can be good. And I think that we have to see what Steven Matz is going to be. And the most thing, at least on the bullpens, that's very true. And the thing is that Bauer, I talk to you guys a lot, but I just think he has the most upside. Like, could Bauer be a buzz? No doubt about it. Like, I'm willing to admit that. But I just think that Bauer, he gives us the potential because when I look back at why they were in the World Series in 2015, it was the pitching. And I think the only way we could get to that top-tier pitching again is with Bauer. I just don't think it's going to happen with him. Like, the Mets rotation will be good, but look at what other rotations they're going to be facing. The Nationals, I mean, with Scherzer and Strasburg and these guys, it's not going to be easy to match up. We're a lock for Bauer because we're getting, yeah, exactly. I mean, and Jackie Bradley, I would like Jackie, but I think it's not going to be easy to get. Like, there are a lot of teams interested after Bradley, and he's probably going to get more money than it looks like the Mets are willing to spend. I don't think the Mets want to overpay for Jackie Bradley, and we still have to see what's going to happen with the DH because, I mean, do we love putting Dom Smith on the bench? I mean, I don't think we do. I would like to have Dom Smith in the lineup because we've said that you could just get Jake Marisnick laying games. He could be defensive replacement, and you're good right there. What's up, Omer? Jays and Angels still got a chance for Bauer? They do. I mean, no doubt. Thanks, Mike. I mean, because Bauer, he still has plenty of people that are interested, but I think that, I mean, who else is going to give Bauer the money? I think the Mets are up there. The Angels, we haven't really seen, like Bauer, we've speculated, but we haven't really seen that the Angels want to spend big this offseason. They haven't really shown it so far. And the Blue Jays, they are willing to spend big, but, I mean, are the Mets going to let them get outbid again with the Trevor Bauer? I mean, that would be pretty disappointing if we had this idea that maybe the Mets could get 2 stars and one team outbid them twice. That wouldn't be a good look, you know, because Steve Cohen, I mean, he's got a lot of expectations. Like, the Met fans, they expect a lot. And I'm trying to be as realistic as I can. I do think that we'll be okay. You know what I mean? I feel like that they have a plan. That's why I don't want to overreact towards the Brad Hand because I feel like the Mets will do some more smart things. I do trust Sandy. How did you feel when Jameson went to the Yankees? I mean, it was a pretty good move. I mean, Tyone is a good pitcher. He's not like, he has never been an all-star yet. Could he be? Maybe. But I think that it definitely was a solid move for the Yankees. I've always said they have to do more for their rotation. Will Tyone be the guy? I mean, we will see. But the fact that they gave up 4 prospects, no one in the top 10, I mean, it was a good deal, no doubt about it. Because other than that, what's going to do the free agency market? That's the other thing I talk about with Bauer. But compared to the rest of the options, I mean, what else were the Yankees going to do? Like, they've had Paxton, they've had Kluber. I mean, I'm sorry, not Kluber. They just got Kluber. They've had Paxton, they've had Tanaka, and these guys have. So, I mean, what's the point of bringing them back? They already know what they are. And Tyone, at least he's young. At least he still could improve. Whereas these other guys, we know we've seen the best. Get Almore as a defensive replacement, lane games. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind Almore. Again, just a guy that's later in replacement. Is he better than Tanaka, though? I mean, that remains to be seen. The thing about Masahiro is that when you look at the numbers, you're like, oh, Tyone is better. But we've seen so much in New York that in the playoffs, Tanaka is really good when it matters. Would you settle for Odorizzi in the rotation? I mean, now that they have Carrasco, I guess, like, I prefer Bauer. But, I mean, I guess it is more of a guarantee to Steven Metz. Or still looking at Odorizzi. I hope we don't settle. I mean, it's kind of seems like the Mets have been out on Odorizzi for a while now. Because I remember we were talking about him more a while ago. But it seems like there are other teams that are more interested in Jake Odorizzi, so I don't think that's going to be exactly where the Mets are looking right now. I mean, that's just me, though. I mean, they could surprise us because don't forget, something I haven't really talked about enough is, hey, what's up, is that the Lindor trade came out of nowhere. Like, I haven't really said that much on the channel, but I was absolutely shocked when they got him because we didn't hear any rumblings, any rumors, any reports. Also, it's like, boom, they got Lindor. Let's see what else we got. I'm not sure if the Angels want to give big money. Bauer there, Rendon, Trent Pulse. Yeah, I mean, that's true. And the other thing, too, is that, like, the pandemic. So even if a normal offseason, the Angels would want to give more money, I just don't know if this is the offseason they want to do it. A lot of teams don't want to go crazy. If Barry signs elsewhere, we just like Barry. I mean, that's where it looks like it's going to be because there was that one report. I don't remember exactly what it was. I feel like it was John Heyman where the Mets are looking at a few guys. We talked about the main targets, Bradley or Kike Hernandez or Brad Hand. And if they can't get them, then maybe they go after Bauer. And so far, Kike off the board. Now Brad Hand off the board. Bradley could be next. So I don't see why they wouldn't, be going for someone else like Trevor Bauer. I think that it definitely makes sense. And the other thing in the Mets' favor is that Bauer is interested in the Mets. Like Bauer has said multiple times he likes the Mets. So I could understand why it would be a fit for both sides. Hey, guys. Frustrated. Yeah, I'm frustrated too. Like I was like, you know what? I got to talk more about this because I'm just not done talking about it. And I just got so many comments. I couldn't get to all of them. I try to get to as many as I can, but it's tough. If it's not a Bauer turn, I hope not. I mean, the thing with Bauer is that, like, you got to keep it in the 1 to 3 year range. Anything above that, I'm probably not going to do it. And it makes – all right, I'm trying to keep up one thing at a time. But I hope that does not mess up them re-signing the guys because that should be a top priority is to keep the young core. And I don't see why they can't do both because once the CBA comes through, then we'll know more about what the penalties are going to be. And the Mets will be much more willing to go over the tax. What lefty do on the pen? Do we get Wilson? I mean, Wilson seems like the most logical option right now. Mets do something up with Dwayne. Alderson better wake up. I mean, I think Alderson is pretty much awake for the most part. We'll see what they do. Bauer gets more money to Grandma. Yeah, that can't happen. How far would you go over the luxury tax? I wouldn't. I would try not to go for Bauer right now over the tax. Like I would try my best to keep it under the tax because that would definitely stink to do that in the first year just for Bauer. What chance do we get Wong? I have not seen him really rumored to the Mets at all. I know a few Met fans want him, and I like Holton Wong. Like, how could you not love that glove up the middle with Lindor? But I just haven't seen them connected to him yet. Bauer just like Callaway. I did see that too. I can't blame him. I mean, do you guys want to play for Mickey Callaway? And be like, oh, hey, Trevor, how's it going? Oh, this is the kind of pitches you should do. No resting every 4 days. We want Tanaka back. Yeah, the Yankees definitely should give Garcia and Clark Schmidt a chance. No doubt about it. I mean, I still can't believe what the Yankees did in the playoffs, pulling Deivi Garcia so early. Do you know if there's a center field reliever we could trade for? I mean, the center fielder trade market is much more realistic than relievers. I mean, there's been speculation that Josh Hader could be moved, which is something the Mets should be all over. You want to talk about lefty out of the pen, cheap cost. I mean, Josh Hader would be the guy. But there's a lot more center fielders I could see being available just because of the prices. You really want JBJ? What would I get for Suarez and Gray? Right, that's a really good question. I think for Suarez and Gray, it just can't be Matt Allen and Francisco Alvarez. Other than that, I mean, pretty much everybody's on the board. I would like to keep Nimmo. He's the one guy that I definitely would make an exception for. But as long as it's not Matthew Allen, as long as it's not Francisco Alvarez, I'm pretty much willing to move it because that Suarez-Gray move, I feel like that could be the move for the Mets. I mean, we want to talk about anti-rotation. Sonny Gray could do that. One more big bat in the lineup, and Suarez does that. I feel like you really accomplish so many things because one thing I haven't talked about in a video lately is if you guys been watching these top 10 like countdowns for what the team is and stuff like that, there are so many Mets that are in the top 10 for all these different positions, pretty much every position besides third base. So like that's the one position that really could be upgraded, and Suarez would do that. Which is better, Jays lineup or Mets lineup? That's tough to say. I mean, I kind of like the Mets lineup right now. I feel like it has a lot of upside. Like the Blue Jays have good young players, but I just think that this Mets lineup could definitely do some damage. I mean, we'll see if Jackie Bradley's in there and makes it a little tougher, but I do like the Mets lineup. Shreve was good for us. I really wanted to see the team bring back Shreve. I agree with all you guys. I mean, I said that in the tender video, but I feel like Shreve had such a good year, and it would have costed hardly anything. So I definitely would like to see Shreve back. I mean, he was a lefty, not really a lefty specialist guy. That's the other thing, too, is that so many people are caught about getting a lefty. With the 3-batter minimum rule, lefties are not a big deal. Should trade for Buxton? Yeah, I mean, I love Buxton. That's a great glove. We should do 4 years, 130 for Bauer. I mean, that's a little high on the AAV, but I mean, it sounds about right, though. That sounds – I feel like he might take that deal. That's not a bad deal at all. It's weird, though, since Gray was good in New York. That's fair, but the thing about Gray is that it really is more so a Yankee thing, I think. When you look at his pitch selection, about where his cutter usage was and things like that, it was drastically different between Oakland and his other teams. Between Oakland and Cincinnati compared to the Yankees, it was a big deal. So much hate about Bauer for his personality. Yeah, I mean, I try not to worry too much about personality. As long as he's getting along with the team, I feel like personality shouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, I'm more so I want to win. And again, if we need pitching, I feel like Bauer's the guy. Yankees pitching staff was horrible. I mean, horrible is probably a little bit of a push, but I mean, they did need more work in the pitching, no doubt about it. Because I mean, you have Cole, but other than that, don't really love everybody else. Message held for review. I mean, I can't even see a message all blurred out. And a lot of you guys' comments, like especially the Kike video, so many guys' comments just like randomly disappeared. I don't know why. They just do it. Trade for now, get the lefty pen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Brewers would ask for. It'd have to be something crazy because his contract is tiny. Like, he barely gets paid anything. He'd be great. Best rotation in baseball, Bauer. If everybody is at their best, I mean, they're in the discussion. Brewers want too much? Yeah, I feel like they would. I would love to see blogs with Bauer to come the door. Yeah, no, it definitely is fair. Hater seems too inconsistent. I mean, he's been one of the best guys in the league as far as relievers past few years. Would you rather lose Bauer to Angels or Jays? Honestly, as long as it's not an American League team, I don't really care, honestly, because, I mean, I just want it to not be in the National League. That's my main thing. If it's American League, that's fine. Yankees try to change Gray. Yeah, that's why he's struggling. Exactly. Hater's been abused with the Brewers. Yeah, that could be a concern. I mean, injuries definitely could happen when you pitch that many innings. That's a fair point. But, I mean, again, if we want a guy that really wants to make a difference for the bullpen, I feel like Hater's that guy. What would you give up for Chris Bryant? Again, as long as it's not Alvarez or Matthew, those are, we talked about untouchables. Those are my two guys that are really untouchable. I like to keep Armstrong as well because of his position center field. Other than that, a lot of these guys could go, especially Mauricio, Brett Beatty. Since I'm getting a third baseman in Bryant, I mean, I'd give up a third baseman. The one thing I don't like about Bryant, though, did you hear Bryant and Kendrick to the Jays? I mean, yeah, it's a rumor, but until it's a done deal, I'm not going to make a whole video about it. But the thing about Bryant is that he's going to want a big extension on the last year of his deal. That would put the Mets over the tax. I'm not sure if Bryant's the guy I want to go over the tax for a quiet day. He's been a little consistent too. If they're not willing to go back because he wants cold money, how do you see the Mets signing him? No, I'm saying as long as they could keep it under the tax, that's why I would do it. I mean, who knows? The Mets could surprise us. Because I think the fact that one thing we have to consider is that since the Mets were willing to give so much money to Springer, I don't think they're as scared of the luxury tax as many people are making it out to be. Because if they did indeed sign George Springer without moving Familia's money or moving other money, I think the Mets may not be that afraid of the tax. If they feel like they could get a big-time player like Springer or Bauer, I think it's possible because they both can be free next season. Arenado, not so much. He has the opt-out, but I think that Arenado can opt out of that deal. I mean, Arenado is making over $30 million a year, as so many teams are looking to cut back on salary. So who would give Arenado more than $30 million? I cannot see him opting out of that deal. Buxton, more defense than anything else, can't hit much. Well, I mean, that's what the Mets need in center field, though. They need defense. We have so many guys that walk in. That's the one thing they can't. If you get Bauer, you can't sign Reforto, can you? I mean, the thing is, they can. I mean, it's up to them if they want to spend the money. I mean, it's not my money, obviously. We've taken Savel's ever since Porter left. I hope that's not a thing. Like, I hope it's not going to be like, oh, ever since Jared Porter, the Mets couldn't get Kike, Mets couldn't get Brad Hand, bad looking organization. I hope not. What's happening with JT? Haven't heard anything. I mean, it looks like the Braves are in there. I still think he's staying with the Phillies, though. I mean, who's going to top that offer? I think Arenado wants out of Colorado. Yeah, Arenado definitely wants out of Colorado. Mauricio and others for Castillo blockbuster move. Yeah, I mean, Castillo is going to be harder to get than Gray. I mean, the Reds are going to want a lot for him. Hope Mets extend Lindor soon. Mets have got to extend Lindor before opening day. That has got to be a top priority for them. Let's get Castillo. Yeah, I don't like Busted because we have to give up a lot. He always gets hurt and bad after. He does get hurt. That definitely is a concern too. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of concerns, no doubt about it. But the thing is that, like, they still have 30 million left. There's still a lot of guys on the free agent market, so there's still plenty more moves they could do, especially in the bullpen. Like, there's a lot of relievers left, not so much left-handed, but I thought the Reds want to hang on Castillo for another year. I think the Reds want to keep him too. What's our next move? Listen, I hope it's Jackie Bradley because, I mean, what else is it going to be? I mean, the Mets still got to upgrade their defensive center field. How much Lindor? 300 million? Yes. I think that Francisco Lindor is easily getting over 300 million. Look at Mookie Betts' contract, and Lindor is younger, 10 years, 32 for Lindor. I think more. I think it could be even more. I mean, he's going to get a ton. Colome, I would like Colome, but I mean, have the Mets been connected to him quite yet? We haven't really seen that. I mean, I would like to get Colome, no doubt. He's been good the past couple of years, especially in 2020. I mean, he had a great year. So, I mean, the Mets need all the bullpen help they can get because, again, bullpen is so important. The way baseball has changed now in the playoffs, like these teams are using a ton of pitchers. So you need all the pitchers you can get. Brian, you have too many guys on the walk here. They do have a lot of guys on the walk here. Mets looking at Wilson. Listen, I like Justin Wilson. I mean, Wilson was good, but he's not Brad Hand. The fact that I went to a big divider got me a bit mad. Yeah, that was the most thing. And he cheap. Yeah, Justin Wilson is cheap. I mean, that's fine. But, I mean, what Wilson says, he feels like he's the second option. You never know. I mean, don't forget how Asdrubal Cabrera did that. He felt like he wasn't really wanted by the Mets. I mean, the same thing went for Daniel Murphy. Daniel Murphy felt like he was a second option to Ben Zober, so he didn't want to come here. Trade for Kyle Hendricks, nice low-key move. Yeah, Kyle Hendricks is a guy that's a bit underrated. I don't love his ERA, but he's a pretty solid pitcher. 300 million, I don't think anyone can give him 300 no time soon. I mean, it is Lindor, so we don't know. I mean, he is such a – I mean, like, with top 5 player in baseball, you never know. We should be happy or sad. One part, we should be happy about all we got. Yeah, I mean, no doubt. The Mets are still going to be really good. I mean, I don't know about really good. We still have more to do. Like, I'm not upset with the way the offseason is. I'm not calling it a failure quite yet, but I really wanted Brad Hand. And again, it's just the Nationals, 1 year, $10.5 million. It's just like, oh my gosh, we could have done that. Captain Frank, I think someone else got new Mets now. Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Oh my gosh, how about that Packers game? I was watching that. That was brutal. I mean, the drops, oh god, poor Packers. That really sucked. I mean, to see Brady win again. Do we extend him before starting pitching? Would you trade for Ottavino? No. I do not want any part of Ottavino. I've seen him too much with the Yankees. Ottavino, that was a guy I wanted the Mets to go, and he was a free agent, but he is so inconsistent. I do not want any part of Ottavino. I guess we sign Brad next year. Maybe. I mean, listen, if Brad Hand loves DC so much and Edwin Diaz is the lockdown closer, then no. I guess we won't get Brad Hand. Do you think Smith or Alonso is a better long-term fit at first base? That is a really good question because Smith is better with the defense, and Alonso, I mean, he didn't have a great offensive year with the batting average. So I guess long-term it could be Smith, but I think that if you look at who could be better, I think Alonso could be better just because his power is so elite. I got frustrated about the Packers, but yeah, no, I don't want to see Brady win anymore. I'm so tired of seeing it. How this Porter has derailed the Mets. Obviously, there's so much momentum. Yeah, they did. I mean, one of the unfortunate things I was just thinking about is that, like, when Trevor May came here, he was like a big reason why I signed was because of Steve Cohen, and there's a lot of buzz with the Mets. I feel like the Mets are starting to lose that buzz a little. Would you like Ozuna if we got DH out? Listen, I'm okay with Ozuna even if we did have a DH. The fact that we could take him from the Braves, I'm all for Marcell Ozuna. Let's get him in here. Right-handed bat. I mean, this guy was won a Triple Crown last year, so I would totally get him. I'm seeing we're still connected to Ozuna. You just don't understand why or where he fits with Trey Nimmo. I mean, I've seen certain people commit the Mets to Ozuna, but I haven't really seen it enough, if you know what I mean. I don't want to get into particular names, but I've seen some things that I don't really think the Mets are in as Ozuna as some people think. Let's go Mets. What's up, Hayden? Heyman said the Mets over Brad Hand was said to be in the ballpark. Don't know exactly what. Oh, yeah, the West Palm area where the Nats train. That's another thing I think is total, like, BS because who cares about where they train? You're in spring training for a month. Florida is Florida, dude. Like, if you're with the Mets, that's still Florida. I think the West Palm thing, that's BS. That is not why he did not sign with the Mets. That's not it. I don't think so. If LBS DH Zoom either play DH or Dom will play left. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, the thing is that Nimmo can play center. You know what I mean? NL East is going to be insane. So, NL East is going to be really tough. Like, Nimmo can play center field. I mean, it's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. But Nimmo can get it done. Like, if you have to take him out again, late game replacement, you do it. But I think that having Ozuna's bat would make such a big difference, and it would have a big impact on the Braves. Like, the Mets are still trying to catch the Braves in my mind. Like the Braves rotation is still really good. Their lineup is still going to be very good. So, I mean, until they're proven otherwise, the Braves are still the champions in the National League East. Mets also offered Ozuna a contract. I saw someone say that, but I didn't see it. Did Steve Cohen say it? Did Sandy say it? Until I see it, I mean, I can't really buy too much into it. I really can't. I haven't seen DeComo say it. I haven't seen enough people talk about Ozuna yet. Because I've seen certain YouTubers connect them, but I don't buy it. Okay. Which division will be the closest? I'd say either NL East by a mile. AL East, there is hardly any competition there. That is it's still the Yankees league. I mean, Blue Jays are going to be better, but that is still the Yankees division. The National League East will be much more tighter just because like every team is going to be good. Like the Braves are still going to be good. The Phillies are going to be good. Obviously, the Nationals are going to be good. The Marlins, let's not sleep on the Marlins. They were better than the Mets in 2020. Next month is going to be insane. La Stella, I like La Stella. You sign La Stella? Yeah, let's get La Stella in here. I mean, that would definitely be a very nice utility guy. Who will be our main utility? If they don't get La Stella, it looks like it might be Guillorme for right now. Teams with Nats, Braves, and Mets. I mean, listen, the Mets don't – the thing that bothers me about the Mets is that, like, they don't beat – I know we're not worried about the Phillies, but the Mets don't beat the Phillies enough, or they don't beat the Marlins enough. Like, the Mets have got to win more head-to-head matchups, or else they'll just find themselves in a wild card game where we've seen what happens there before in 2016. You never know what's going to happen. Ozuna might screw up our defense. You know what? I mean, like, let's just say this: there's no DH, right? If the Braves were to sign Ozuna, he was going to be on left field, so their defense would be screwed. And the Nationals signed Kyle Schwarber to be their left fielder. Their defense is going to be screwed. So no matter what, the National League East has bad defense in left field. So, I mean, we would just be joining along. I guess that's a trend now. I don't know. What else we got? The Jays signed Bauer. They win the offseason. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Jays made a lot of moves. Phillies have no bullpen. I mean, the Phillies have actually made a few moves to the bullpen lately. Losing Didi, may lose Muse. I don't think they're losing JT. I think JT is staying. American League and Just Weekly League. Yes, National League is stacking nice teams. That's very true. Their National League this offseason has become so much stronger than the American League. When you look at the Padres and the Dodgers and the Braves, even the Mets a little bit, I mean, compared to what do you have in the American League? The Yankees? I mean, you don't really have anything else that really scares me. Brandon Drury and Guillermo. Guillermo, you mean. But I don't think Drury's going to be on the Major League roster. I feel like he's going to start the year in the minor leagues. I like Guillermo. Listen, guys, I like Guillermo a lot. What bothers me so much is when Todd Frazier came onto the team, Guillermo stopped playing. Like, this dude had over a 400 average. Arenado or Bryant. In an ideal world, I would say Arenado, but the contract, I guess you have to say Bryant. What three teams are having successful offseason so far? Well, obviously the San Diego Padres are having a successful offseason. I mean, their rotation is looking really good right now. They already have a good team to begin with. Brought back Profar, brought on Kim. Obviously, the Blue Jays are having a pretty good offseason. And I think the Mets are still having a pretty good offseason. I mean, all things considered, compared to where this team was, compared to where it is now, like so many guys have not signed. The Mets have actually been one of the more active teams pretty much all around the league. Pirates offseason sucks for them bad. They received 14 prospects, none of them in the top 100. They can finish the worst record for 2020 minor league history. Yeah, but I mean, the Pirates are rebuilding right now, though, so they're looking for all the prospects they can get because that's the thing, guys. I'm going to make a video eventually about, like, guys the Mets had that made it that weren't thought out to be too big. Think of DeGrom. Think of other guys like McNeil. They were not big prospects, but turned out to be star players. Is Adam Duvall in the market? Yeah, I'm all for Adam Duvall. I mean, he can play a good left field. He hit a lot of home runs for the Braves last year, so, again, hurt the Braves. I'm all for Duvall. You have to sign relievers. You can't trade for them. Yeah, that's very true. No doubt about it. And relievers are so tough to predict either-wise because they can be so inconsistent. Ham was no brainer. Yeah, I wanted him a lot. No doubt about it. Gurmy has no power in his bat, was a good contact hitter. That doesn't bother me. Like, if you can hit for an average, if you're doing something for me offensively, all about it. How many homers for Alonso this year? I'd probably say, like, somewhere from 43 to 45. If there's no DH and you sign Ozuna, what do you do with Smith and Pete? Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, I feel like for the Mets, per se, you can't really make an Ozuna decision until you know about the DH. And, I mean, how much longer are they going to wait with this? The fact that the spring training should start next month, I mean, come on now. How much longer can you actually wait? To this day, I hate Brody because of the Kelenic trade. Yeah, I mean, that trade more and more. Like, think of how different things would be for the Mets right now. If we had Kelenic, all right, we're not worried about center field. We're not worried about moving Cano's contract. And we could have got Brad Hand because we wouldn't have to worry about giving the close role to Edwin Diaz. Alex Colomé would be a nice signing. He would be very nice. But, oh, guys, that's the other thing. Is it Colomé going to want to close? Oh, we can't because we have Diaz. Oh, no one can be a closer besides Diaz. Nobody. I mean, good old Brody. Yeah, I mean, that's another video I'm going to do eventually, all the Brody moves and just how they look. Another bad trade by Brody that is very relevant now was the Blake Taylor one. They gave up a really nice left-handed relief pitcher, and what do we need? Left-hand relievers. You are the GOAT Mets YouTuber. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. The trade hinges on how good Kelenic is. I mean, yeah, it looks like he's going to be pretty good, though. Colombia would be nice, but we need lefties. Yeah, we could use some lefties. I don't trust Diaz as a closer. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, guys. Like, I love that Diaz had a great year in 2020. I'm very happy about that. But once fans come back, the first homer Diaz gives up, we're going to be all over him. Like, we're going to boo Edwin Diaz, and then we'll find out who he is. Like, let's be honest, guys. Let's be frank about it. That's what we're doing. I mean, don't act like something different's happening. No doubt about it. This is fun, though, guys. We could definitely stream a little more often just to be able to talk to you guys more, like, quickly and really get your guys feeling how everything is going right now. So what other things, I mean, could the Mets really do? I mean, now that Branham's off the board, what else do you guys want to see them do? Diaz not cut for NY. We'll see. If Wilson gets signed, get McGee. Yeah, Jake McGee is another very solid option for left-hand relief pitcher. I got no problem with that at all. I don't mind that. Trade is good. Kelenic is, yeah, I mean, we'll see what Kelenic is all about. I mean, he looks like he's going to be good, though. I mean, everything is going good so far as far as the way he's developing in Seattle. I'm not looking forward to that, no doubt about it. What the Mets doing, this is lame. Yeah, no, I'm upset about it because I just can't believe that, like, so quickly Diaz became anointed that, like, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the closer. It just came out of nowhere. Do we extend Lindor this offseason? They have to. Because Frankie said that, like, if they don't do it before spring training, before the season, he's not going to do it to the end of the season. And I don't think you can wait that long. I feel like you got to re-sign Frankie as soon as you can. Like, I feel like once the Mets know what they've done in the offseason, then they really could focus on the extensions. Because, I mean, if they get Bauer, they're going to get tricky with extensions. Hands going to shut down a left-hand heavy lineup next year. That's fair. I mean, that definitely could happen. Re-sign Wilson and Shreve, get Bauer, maybe sign JBJ. That would put you over the tax. So, I mean, we'll see. We don't know if they want to do that. What about Sean Doolittle? Doolittle's getting older. He's on the decline. I'm not crazy about Sean Doolittle right now. How they guarantee close spot when Hand is barely – yeah, that's the other thing too, guys, is that, like, Hand is a preliminary reliever. I mean, every year, all-star. How could you not want this guy to be closer? When is Diaz just all of a sudden better than him? I remember the first one I watched was when the Todd Frazier trade. I could not believe that Todd Frazier came back. I could not stand watching Todd Frazier get thrown out at home plate. Oh, my gosh, he drove me crazy. All the strikeouts. Why don't we give Colome? He sucks. We'll see about him. I mean, he definitely was not good in his rookie year. He's supposed to be good, though. So we've given up so much young pitching with Brody. We can't give up any more, honestly. Did about 2019 Nationals. They won with pitching. Yeah, if the Mets got Bauer, exactly. Proved my point. Opening day and ninth thing, everyone cuts Diaz Thursday, ball one, boom. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, dudes, hot shot City Field. Yeah, I mean, think about Diaz opening day. Mets were killing Diaz opening day. He gave up the home run to Ozuna. Now everybody loves Diaz. Go figure. I mean, we turn quick, though. Let's not lie. We turn quick. Doolittle gets rocked by the Mets. But listen, if he's pitching for the Mets, then technically the Mets can't rock him. I don't know. And the other thing about Brad Hand is I've seen people post that video when the Mets had that walk-off against Cleveland in 19 against Brad Hand. I mean, who knows if the Mets could be successful against him again. Shane Green, Melanson, I've said a bunch of times I want Green or Melanson because, again, they're with the Braves. They're solid relievers. And we know the Mets need more bullpen because what's going to happen, guys, is that since they don't have Brad Hand right now, our amazing closer Diaz is not pitching every game. Trevor May is not pitching every game. Even Lugo's not pitching every game. So what's going to happen is that late in games, close games, Betances is coming in, Familia's coming in, Brock's coming in, Miguel Castro, Drew Smith. I mean, if anybody gets hurt, we are screwed. I don't want to see Blevins. I don't want to see Stephen Tarpley. We need some legit relief pitching. We do not have enough guys. Like, I love Lugo. I love May. Diaz okay, but we need more. Oh, my gosh. Diaz should be 7th or 8th, no more closing. Yeah, we'll see. It's just crazy how Mets could pass on a guy like this. It looks like it wasn't really a Mets thing. It was more of like a Brad Hand thing. He wanted to be a closer. They should have given it to him. How did Betances get pitched in 2021? All I know is I swear to you, Betances better be better. Oh, my God, he better be better. Because, I mean, I was so high on this guy. Like, I remember I made the video, Drew Smith over Brock. Yeah, that's fair. When I made the video about Betances, I was so excited. I was like, oh, my gosh, Mets finally got a reliever. Oh, Betances, he's been so good. All-stars, the injuries doesn't matter. Betances was a nightmare. When the Mets lost that game to the Braves, they had that big lead on that Friday night, and Betances blew it. I was livid. When the Mets had a game against the Yankees, Betances throwing wild pitches, I was screaming. I lost my voice. I was so mad that day. I was so mad they blew that game to the Yankees. And then the next day when Diaz gave up that home run, my day was ruined. I remember I was outside sitting by the pool watching the Mets game, and I saw Diaz get that grand slam. I wanted to throw the phone in the pool. I was like, they ruined my whole summer. That game was brutal. How I feel about the Bauer rumors? You know what? I can't overreact to Bauer rumors because, like, everything is a Bauer rumor. Every move a team makes is like, oh, Bauer wants to be a Padre. Bauer wants to be a White Sox, a Blue Jay, a Met. I mean, he's all over the place. So whenever he decides, he decides. But since I watched it, yeah, they don't look near as good as they were. Batanzas was our biggest acquisition last year. Times have changed. That's a good point, Luis, because like that, I made such a big deal about it. I was like, oh my God, we got Batanzas, big move by the Mets. And now people are like, oh, Mets are failing in the offseason. Like, I mean, think of how much things have changed. So we have to try. I know I'm mad about Ham, but we got to be realistic. The Nationals game, Schneider, you mentioned. Yeah, oh my God. It seems like all close have the issue. Batanzas, Diaz, etc. Familia in 2015 in the World Series. He wasn't locked down. I hate to break it to you. Diaz the best closer. He just had one bad year. But Hand should have been brought in. We need a lefty closer. I mean, we'll see about Diaz. I hope you're right. Like, I hope 2020 is the real Diaz, not 2019. We'll definitely see. What the Mets will be doing the rest of the offseason. If it's not Hand, if it's not Bauer, I guess there's going to be depth pieces, utility guys, maybe relievers, lower level stuff, 1-year deals. And that's what he's looking at. Remember when, he traded for a month to Billy Hamilton, gave up pitching prospects, and then Billy Hamilton wanted to be a complete dope on the base paths every time he was on there. Bauer's been for the Mets all offseason. I think he'll eventually take the Mets offer before he get close to spring training. Yeah, I mean, we'll see about Bauer. Does he want money? Does he want to be with the team that's trying to win? Will he be like Springer and really be very concerned about money? He gets thrown out at third. I can't believe that one against the Phillies where Hamilton, like, the ball literally bounced right away from you. Either it was Didi or Segura. And Billy Hamilton just takes off. You're out by a mile. And then he's still just, oh, that was so brutal. And then Davis hits a homer after. Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. There were just like so many, in like such a short season, there were so many Mets moments. I was like, what the heck is going on? Realmuto maybe? For who? Not for the Mets because they got McCann. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, it definitely has been crazy so far. I hate Hamilton with a passion. Yeah. Arenado for Cano and Davis and prospects. Lindor came out of nowhere. What's your thoughts? We got to talk about who the prospects are. I mean, the fact that Colorado doesn't want to pay Arenado, I don't think they want to pay Cano either. I was watching that game and I was screaming, yeah. Watch us trade Batanzas becomes a great pitcher. That honestly would not surprise me in the least bit. Oh, my gosh. That would be such a Mets thing. It really would. I felt bad they DFA'd. Hamilton is exciting, but he was just playing dumb. Like, I mean, that wasn't the first time. Like, every time he got on the bases, he just did something dumb. And his bat was so brutal. I mean, he could not get a hit. What do you think about Blackmon to play center field? I like Blackmon's bat, but I just don't think his glove is much better than Nimmo. Like, if they're getting a center fielder, it's more for a glove. 29 has so many memories. For a 60-game season, they had way too many bad memories. Like, I think that 2020 has to be one of the worst years for me. Like, I feel like there were very few, like, good memories. Do you guys have any like good memories from the 2020 season? Because a lot of them were horrible. They really were. I don't know why. Maybe because we finished under 500. No Bauer, JBJ, trade for Suarez Gray, signing Almora, signing Matz, trade or Familia, Justin Wilson. Yeah, those are all definitely possibilities. No doubt about it. Cano's cheaper. They want to dump his contract. Not having to pay Cano plus have him cheaper. They could extend Story. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I don't know. Like, the thing is, do you want Cano? Maybe they do. I don't know. Well, yeah, okay. The walk-offs at Yankee Stadium, yeah, now Rosario's gone. But, I mean, like, the walk-offs were nice. Yeah, okay. Those are probably the two biggest moments. But then what happened? Like, it didn't, like, make an impact. Like, the Mets, they just, like, that would piss me off about the Mets so much. They'd have a good game, right? Like, a big walk-up against the Yankees, and then sucked. And then they just had a brutal week. Stuff happens all the time. Brian, maybe, yeah, that's fair. Don Smith, Grand Slam on a 3-0 count. Yeah, I mean, there were some good ones, but I don't know. I just feel like there were more bad than good. Destroying the Blue Jays, 18-1. No, not the Blue Jays one. You know why? Because the very next day, I remember that game, the Saturday, the Mets were horrible. They should have worked Robbie Ray, and they didn't score nothing. Watch Aaron on Shark Tank. Listen, A-Rod is everywhere. Pilar defense, no bad. Yeah, someone asked about Pilar and Marisnik. I mean, if you're not going to be spending that much other money elsewhere, I mean, I guess Pilar defense, no bat. I actually like Pilar's bat more than his defense. Pilar could give you 280 average, 20 home runs. The analytics actually say Pilar's not good in defense, even though like we see good highlights, they don't really show it. Yeah, so it definitely it was a crazy year, no doubt about it. All right, what else we got, guys? What else we got? Yeah, so I definitely think that they still need more pitching. That's still my main thing that I want to work on because I just think pitching is so important. Nats are better than the Mets. They could be. I mean, we'll see how the season plays out. The Nats didn't have a great year in 2020, but they had their injuries too. We should have kept Chris Mazza. Yeah, JBJ hit 15 to 30 home runs. Yeah, I mean, Jackie Bryce hit 20 home runs twice in the past. So, I mean, in the past couple of years, he definitely is possible. It is possible. Malik Smith for depth. Malik Smith's bat was so bad. We'll see if it works. Do you think not having a GM will affect the finale? I hope not. I'm really hoping that this Jared Porter thing does not become a big thing for the team. Like, I hope that was just one bad situation. Porter was a creep. We got rid of him. That's it. Like, if anything, it should be good for the Mets. The fact that, like, they got rid of him so quickly and they acted like a good organization. Nats don't suck. No, the Nats do not suck. I mean, they just won the World Series. I mean, I wish we just won the World Series a couple years ago. I'd be really happy about that. The Nationals are still going to be very good. Like, again, the whole division is definitely going to be very good. We have bullpen. We can't have blown against. It's the biggest worst. Yeah, I mean, the Mets have blown way too many games in the bullpen for a while now. For a while, the Mets have blown too many games in the bullpen. Cohen would not go luxury tax his first year just to finish deal to buy the team. Yeah, we'll see. Mr. Brandon, what's nice, Colome and Brett Wilson for the pen. Yeah, I don't know. I would like Colome, but I think he might want to close and apparently go get last season's Village. Not, yeah. Oh my gosh, that video I made about the prospects, I can't believe how many people are coming at me. Oh, this guy from the 80s, this guy from the 90s. How old do you think I am? I didn't see these guys play. I can't give a fair assessment. Like, I know who they are, but I can't, like, actually give stories. Like a Last Name's Miller story, Kazmatsui story, Ike Davis stories. I can't actually give stories about them, about watching them, about what I thought about them as they were coming up through the farm system. Marlins, Nats, or Braves. Braves are much better. Wasted talent, yeah. Porter's an attention seeker. Well, I mean, he definitely wanted attention from that girl sending 62 messages. Fans at City, I hope so. I would love to go back to City Field as soon as we can. Do the Mets make the playoffs? I think if anything, it's wild card. I just don't think they're better than the Braves right now. The Braves rotation is still way too good, and we still don't know about Noah. Noah's going to be such an X factor right now. He's not coming back till June. How good will he be? How about taking a shot with Fulte? Fulton Average, like the Mets should have got him before when he was on waivers from the Braves. Trade for Ader. I said that before. I think the Mets should see what the Brewers are asking for. I imagine it's going to be a lot. Marlins 5th. I don't know. Marlins were 3rd last year, so we'll see. Braves or Mets. I still think the Braves are a little better. JBJ and Mets trade Reds. That would be ideal. I mean, that definitely would be what I'm going after. That would be my focus right now. It just makes so much sense because you address so many areas with those moves, and I think you might be able to stay under the tax. It depends how much salary goes back with Cincinnati and how much Jackie wants, because I'm getting a little concerned that the Mets are going to get outbid for Jackie Bradley. Mets need 26 Noah. Yes, the Mets need 26 Noah. That is so true, Luis. Like, that is going to be so important. They need dominant Noah in order to really be competitive. Get Kane with Hader. Yeah, Lorenzo Kane, we should be all over him. Do you think the Braves will do Realmuto? I don't think the Braves will do JT Realmuto. I mean, if the Braves give $100 million to a catcher and not to Marcell Ozuna, and the fact that Travis d'Arnaud is a silver slugging catcher now, do they need to upgrade at catcher? I don't know. That would be some savageness if the Braves really did that. Diaz as a starter? Yeah, not really. I mean, I haven't seen Diaz start. I just think that one inning, that's enough for Diaz. If we get one good inning at Diaz, we'll take that. Full potential Mets could go. You know what, Steve? See, it's like we say that so much. We feel like, oh, the Mets could win 90-something games, and they finish in the 80s. Like, the Mets are always have that wide range of, are they going to win a lot? They're not going to win a lot. But stuff like that happens way too often. Oh, my goodness. What else do we have here? I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed. I'm trying to get to as much as I can. I don't want to miss anything. Trying to get to all you guys. Because, again, I was trying to get to all you guys in comments. There were so many comments. I was like, I'm just going to stream. They're not picking hands. Part of the Mets' plan. They're either going to make a star trade or buy lots of depth. Yeah, that's true. Are you kidding me? Huh? I think both of those are definitely very possible. Do you think the Nats will do for the rest of the offseason? What most of the Nationals do? I feel like they might want to do something at catcher after losing Kurt Suzuki. I don't think Realmuto, but I mean, are they really going to stick with Yan Gomes the whole year? I feel like they might want to get another catcher. Other than that, I mean, do they want to bring back Asdrubal Cabrera? Maybe. Do they want to do more for their starting pitching since Anibal Sanchez walked? I mean, they might do some more there. X factor in Mets offense, Pete. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if somehow Pete can get on the 50 home runs again, it'd be a drastically different team. Do you think they make one more trade before the season starts? I don't think they do. I know I want them to, but I just think that Sandy wants to keep on to his prospects. Like, as much as I'm glad the Mets got Lindor, I was surprised they got rid of Jimenez. Like, I thought Sandy would try to keep him. I think Bauer will announce when he signs YouTube channel going. I agree with that. I think Bauer will do that too. I think he'll announce it on YouTube. Bauer, Mets re-sign Cabrera. I've been saying I would like the Mets to re-sign Asdrubal Cabrera because they missed out on Kike. Asdrubal could provide you very good utility. I would not be mad at that at all. Can Lindor have the Cespedes fight with Shade? We get to World Series same year when we get him? Maybe. I mean, the Mets still have to make more moves, though. I'm not ready to say they're World Series ready yet. Again, if the pitching could be what it could be, if everyone's healthy, you never know. I mean, listen, if the Mets could get into the playoffs, you never know what can happen. That's the thing with the Mets. Once they get there, they could do weird stuff because the Mets are weird. So at least they have that there. We just got to get there first. It is so hard just to get to the freaking playoffs. They just have got to get that done. That is so important for them. But I mean, yeah, I hope they get Bauer. I've seen so many people that are against Bauer, and I get why they are. But again, I'm just thinking that what would get the Mets to the World Series? If I just ask myself that question, I would say pitching. What pitcher has the most upside? Bauer. That's just the way I'm looking at it. Nats have great pitching if they're healthy. Yeah, no doubt. Do you think Bauer's a must for Mets now? Like me, you go low, may be forced to not fan with the pressure. I hope they can get Bauer under the tax, but I don't know if the Mets feel that it's that big of a need. They could, again, if they were willing to give Springer that much money. If they got Springer, let's just say Springer said, you know what? I don't want to be a candidate. I want to go to the Mets. If Springer took that deal, the Mets were right up at the cap. And you mean to tell me the Mets were going to do nothing else? I don't know about that. 3-4 days, I can't wait. I agree. I hope the Mets take B-Hand deep. I mean, I hope they do too. If Brandon starts dominating, I'm going to be raging. Sign JBJ and make Suarez trade. I mean, that's what I hope they do. But again, I feel like the Reds could be looking for a pretty good package for Suarez, no doubt. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Especially if the Mets got Ham, we would have had so many former Cleveland guys on the same team. That'd been crazy. Last time we faced Ham, we got him. Let's make him the new Doolittle. That would be nice, Cornet. That'd be cool. Is Suarez a good defender? Not Gold Glove, but he's all right. He's not going to be a liability. He'll get the job done. I mean, I feel like defense at third base is not as big a priority as it is center field. Will another big trade before the trade down for the playoffs? No, that's an issue. I guess Pearson would move to the bullpen if we sign Bauer. I mean, yeah, we'll see how everything shakes out. You never know. I mean, that's the thing, guys. We never know if a starting pitcher gets hurt. Because let's just say that the Mets got Bauer, starting pitcher got hurt. We're okay. Mets don't get Bauer. If someone gets hurt, we're done, man. We got no chance if someone gets hurt. Ham wanted to play in D.C. Why? Somebody tell me why Brett Ham wanted to play in Washington, D.C. What is so great about the Washington Nationals that it's oh my gosh, I got to pick the Nationals over the Mets? What? Why? I don't understand that. Our rotation would be stacked. DeGrom, Bauer, Sherman, Carrasco, Thor, Peterson. Sign me up. What do you think about the runner on second thing? I really hope that never happens. I hate that. He was interested in playing in NY. If that's the case, then all right, fine. I mean, I think he's missing out. Closing job, Cornet. Answer me this. When did Diaz become Mariano? How come Diaz is a guaranteed closer now after so many Met fans want to get rid of him? 2 months after, no fans, he had a good season. Now we can't have a perennial all-star because we have Diaz. I saw something about Blevins starting against the Dodgers. That game was so brutal. They gave up, oh my God, too many home runs. Trade for Grichuk, that's not a bad idea at all. I don't hate that because the Blue Jays are going to be looking to get rid of some outfielders. Grichuk can help out. I think that Scooter Jeanette could be a solid bath bench. Yeah, I mean, Scooter's got some pop, so you never know. I mean, the Mets could pursue that. I do think they are going to get somebody utility-wise. If they were considering Kike, I don't understand why. I'm big on Diaz. He is big in my opinion. We'll see with fans. I hope so, Cornet. I agree that Diaz has the upside, but I just think that, with Brad Hand, at least I'm prepared. You know what I mean? Because let's say that Diaz is bad again. If he's 2019 Diaz, again, we're in big trouble because the thing is, I want to be prepared. I don't want to just be okay, we hope that thing is going to work out. We hope that Noah's going to be himself when he comes back. I want to have Bauer as insurance. I would have wanted to have Brad Hand as insurance just in case. We got to keep our bases covered because when these guys are signed somewhere else and we start stinking, there's nothing we could do. Rondar proposed a trade for us for St. Louis. That'd be a really good deal because Bader could give you defense. Bat isn't amazing, and he's very cheap. Anchez Colome comes either and trade Diaz or move to several. Brandon, if we were going to trade Diaz, we should have done it right. So we could have got Brandon. Come on now. Find out black jerseys. I hope so. I think Colome is looking for a closing job, and I think he's going to get a pretty good payday. So I don't think Colome is coming. I would like for him to, but I don't think it's happening. Jock Pearson is out there. What's Jock going to do? He's not going to be your starting center fielder. He'd be a good bat off the bench. Cornet Bader. I mean, don't we like Jackie, though? I mean, don't we have a little bit of offense? I know Bader's right-handed, but I want a little more. Trade Matz, Davis, Familia, and prospects for Arenado. Sign me up. You know what I mean? I like it. Let's do it. Arenado is coming, or one of the former all-star third basemen. Sandy keeps talking about third. That's a very good point. I'm trying to get the feeling that Sandy does not love J.D. Davis. I think there's multiple reasons. I feel like, first of all, the fact that J.D. was brought in as a Brody trade, I feel like that's a big thing. And then second of all, they didn't want to do the arbitration, only $300,000. And then Sandy keeps talking about one upgrade at third base. You're right. I don't know why they don't like J.D. We'll see. Jock is washed. I mean, he had a pretty good in the playoffs. He was pretty good. Trey Davis coming back will be a fact for young players in particular. I hope so. Kiermaier, that'd be a good trade. Let's resign Frazier, the nasty knuckleball. Brand wanted to be a closer. Mets said we'll see. The Nats said yes. I would have given him the closer role. Said that we lost our hand today, but I still believe Sandy has a plan. I think Sandy has a plan too. I just hope it comes to fruition. Like, I hope it works out. You could have a plan, but if the guys say no, if they're like, oh, I don't want to play in New York, like apparently Brad Hand said, maybe they don't want to come here. Does Sandy have some of his sleep for not getting Springer a hand? That's the feeling I'm getting. Like, he has to, because if he doesn't, Met fans are going to be all over him and Cohen. So they got to do something, because Met fans we're relentless. We are not going to go down line and just be like, oh, that's it. No, I know we got Lindor. JD will improve defensively next to Lindor. I think so too. But I mean, tell that to Sandy. I don't think Sandy loves JD. Watch the Mets will trade for Byron now. I'll be nowhere like the Lindor trade. That's possible. I feel like it will come out. I mean, Johnson's a good bat, but the defense isn't there. Yeah, but we need defense right now. We're looking at defense in center field. We're not really looking more for offense. We want defense first. It makes no sense why you would not to play on the biggest stage in all of baseball. I agree. Like, why wouldn't you want to come to the Mets? I thought Mets supposed to be excited. Trevor Rosenthal could be a good living. Yes, I like Rosenthal a lot. I mean, he had a good 2020. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, hit the like button. Sub. I saw something that like 80% of the people that watch, I don't know however many videos or not subscribed. I was like, oh, man, what are you guys doing to me? Hit the sub button. Sandy Walsh, JD gone. That's boys. Boy, yeah, it looks like that, John. That's definitely what it's looking like. Silas Guillermo, JD. Listen, if Guillermo hits for over 300, why not? Watching all going elsewhere. Has Sandy been influenced by the Wolfpack mentality? I hope not. I hope that's really not a thing. So lay out for us your perfect offseason from now to opening day. The perfect offseason would probably be doing signing Jackie and making the trade for Suarez and Gray. And if you have some money left over, try to sign like another reliever at a low cost. That would probably be perfect offseason for me, Brandon. JD's a fan favorite. If he's not a Sandy favorite, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks like Sandy loves him. Guillermo was goated last year, though. He wasn't, because then Todd Frazier was playing over him. I could not believe that. It drove me nuts. I agree Lindor's defense make everyone else better. Yes, Lindor is great defensively. Cohen will invest in better trainers and equipment to keep players healthier. That would be nice. Steven Wright's available, be very piece in the bullpen. All right, thank you, John. Bro, how dumb? You're dumb. How about we re-sign Lindor? Bro, we will re-sign Lindor. I am not dumb. I mean, that's an obvious one. That's priority number one. So that's an obvious one. You got my thumbs up. Steven Wright, I mean, we'll see. Concerned about Sonny Gray in New York? No, because I think that was more of a Yankees thing. I think that when you look at the actual pitch usage, when you look at the analytics of it, Sonny Gray was much more of a Yankees thing than a New York thing. Every time I think about Suarez and Gray, I guess I do too. I really like. You think we extend Frankie? We have to. Like, if the Mets don't extend Frankie Lindor, it will be the biggest disaster. People will be all over them for that. They have got to. Do you want Bauer? Yeah, we need the starting pitching. I'm all for Bauer. I'm willing to take the chance. Like, guys, this is the way I'm thinking about it. You got to risk it for the biscuit. If I'm thinking what could get the Mets to World Series, Bauer is the guy that could do it. I know people don't like him, but you got to take a chance. If you roll with what you got right now, you're hoping. But I think with Bauer, it gives you a better shot if he could be his, Cy Young self. And he's been good in 2018, so you never know. Think Arenado Marquez for JD, one top 7 prospect and 2 lower level, yes or not? That wouldn't be a bad trade. It depends exactly which prospect we're talking about. Nationals think they're good. I mean, they won the World Series. I can't really hand the Nationals. I think since we passed on Springer hand, we get Bauer. It's possible. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again with Bauer. Would you rather Bauer or Sonny Gray and Suarez? Probably Sonny Gray and Suarez, honestly. But the thing about Bauer, though, is that like it's money versus what we're giving up. I feel like in the Sonny Gray Suarez trade, we're giving up some good prospects, so I have to know who they're giving up. Based on the Mets compete in Major League Baseball, it's a member of the National League East Division. Yeah, that's a pretty good description of the New York Mets. I like it. Will Harvey find another team in MLB? I feel like somebody's bound to give him a shot, but we'll see. Okay, it looks like he's going to keep getting hit by the Marlins. Yeah, he probably will. I mean, Marlins are not crazy about Ronald Acuna Jr., no doubt about it, Tremont. I mean, they've been hitting him for years. I know we should sign left in the bullpen, but we sign Alex Colome. I agree, but I just think that Colome is going to want to close the deal, and obviously the Mets have no interest in giving anybody a closure spot except Edwin Diaz. Frank, he copy-pasted. I feel like he did copy-paste the Wikipedia. I read about Lindor jersey very soon. Yeah, that's a good point. I am not buying a Lindor jersey until they resign. I have too many jerseys of guys that are gone. Like when Murphy had that big LCS, I was like, oh, let me get a Murphy shirt. Murphy was dope in the LCS. Boom, Murphy's gone the next month. I was like, dang, I should not have bought that shirt. 2-year, $30 million deal for Bauer to finish the luxury tax. 2-year, $30 million? Like $30 million a year? I hope he takes it. I mean, that would be nice. We need Mets love Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that's true. Frank's Rackhouse, you got to believe in Bauer. I got to try. On second four, yes, we got second four. Imagine Marlins hit our stars. Oh, we fight. Oh, that's another thing, too. Like, this one thing I don't like about, at this rate, we should sign Cologne. Hey, I love Bartolo. But you know what I hate about the Mets is that, like, the Mets get hit so much and they don't retaliate. They're like, oh, just hit us. No big. Like, the Mets will lead the league and get a hit by pitch, and they're like, oh, no big deal. $15 million each year. Bauer's going for more than that. That's too cheap, Johnny Cage. I think Bauer is going to be looking for way more than $15 million. Like, I feel like Bauer was out to get a bag. You know, like, he says he's not concerned about geography. He wants to win. Bauer wants his money. If he's asking for Garrett Cole money, Bauer wants his money. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Bauer's looking for the big payday. And, I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, you want to try to capitalize off in 2 good months, go for it. JJ center field, let's get it done. None of them are intentionally the Acuna one is. That's true, but the Mets just get hit too much. I don't know. I just feel like the Mets get hit way too much. It really is unfortunate because then, like, they get hit in the hand, then they're out for a week, and things just stink. I wonder what will be going on with the minor leagues this year. Yeah, that's a good point. Fun fact, Rojas was never thrown out last year. That's a good point. Maybe that's something to do with COVID, but, like, I would like to see some fight in my manager that, like, if my guy is getting robbed, like, if my pitcher is getting robbed in the strike zone, I would be all over that. Be like, come on, give my guy a call. Brett Beatty with power from line lessons plus entree. Brett Beatty can make an impact in the major more development. Yeah, Brett Beatty could make an impact, but I don't think it's going to be this year. And another thing, Beatty is a Brody guy. Do the Mets really want to keep Beatty? I'm not sure. We'll see about that. Bauer should put up for more incentives, pushing him further. That would be nice. Any interest in collaborating? I'm sure. I mean, I don't mind collaborating with anybody. As if it helps grow the channel, I'm all for it. Why are people not talking about Trevor May? Just saw a bullpen huge for him. No, Trevor May is really good, but, like, the Mets need more relievers. Like, 2-3 good relievers, that's not enough. In the playoffs now, teams are using like 7 to 8 pitchers. Do the Mets have 7 to 8 pitchers right now in one game that you could say you feel confident with? Like, you'd be like, okay, Mets are using these 7 to 8 guys, we're fine. I don't feel that way. I think the Mets use more pitchers. Rojas don't fight for his players. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Rojas to show a little more. We'll see without the mask. If Bauer's smart, the Mets sign from 1 year, showing the deal. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Rojas was quiet, needs to be more aggressive this year. If Mets hired Girardi, it would be different. I wanted the Mets to get Girardi so bad, but, I mean, Wilpons didn't want him because Wilpons want to be in control, not the manager. And that's becoming more of a trend just in baseball in general. Teams want to have way more control than the manager. So that definitely is unfortunate. Mets need to do something. Yes, they do need to do something. They will do something. So, I mean, I'm not really too worried about that. They will do something. Will it be the right something? Will it be something we like? I sure hope so. Brandon, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. I still want to Super Bowl my pad to Colomé as Wilson. I agree, Brandon, but I think Colomé wants a closer deal, and I haven't seen the Mets connected to him, unfortunately. Maybe that changes. Tough week. Yeah, it has been a tough week. And that's what I said before, Steve C. Like, the Mets have pretty much every position player is in top 10 except J.D. Davis. So I think that's pretty interesting for where our lineup is right now, especially offense. I don't want Jackie. There are plenty of people that don't want Jackie. I've gotten to plenty of debates with people that don't want Jackie. I understand it. Mets need the defense. Jackie can hit enough. I'm not too worried about the lefty stuff. Do you follow UFC? I saw what happened with McGregor. I don't, like, stay up till – I mean, like, I stay up, but I don't stay up to watch UFC. I don't watch it routinely. Bauer get 1 year deal, Perica pitch. Now, why I like it. Is it possible getting JBJ, Sonny, and Gray, and Suarez? It depends on how much salary goes back. Like, I feel like if the Mets can do it, they want to stay under the tax. Spearing got signed mine before my birthday. Go figure. Yeah, a month before birthday. Yeah, that was unfortunate. What about Ozuna? I'm all for Ozuna, no doubt. Bauer takes fan Cy Young, not guaranteed next year. Use it for leverage. Yeah, I mean, listen, so many people are saying that, and I've said it too a little bit, that Bauer 2-month season, National League Central, you know, how good is he really? But I think if Bauer wants to show everybody just how good he is, take a 1 year deal with the Mets and prove to me that you are the guy. Nemo's defense is not going to kill our season. No reason to get Jackie. I mean, like, the Mets could – Ozuna could play center field. Come on, man. Ozuna could barely play left field. He is not going to be playing center field. Nemo's defense, like, it's not going to kill the Mets, but it would be nice to have better center field defense. No doubt about it. Bauer shot the Braves. That was a huge deal for me. Like, I was on the fence for Bauer, like, during the season. But in the playoffs, in the playoffs, that's the main thing. In the playoffs against the Braves, a team we have to beat, Bauer shut them down. I was like, give me Bauer. That was when I was sold on Bauer, that start. Thomas Still could be a low-key sound like DJ 2 years ago. I don't know if he would be quite as good as DJ because DJ was like an MVP finalist, but Tommy Still would be a very nice underrated lineup. How Sour Line Springer's lineup would have been crazy with Springer and a DH. Line would have been so good. But you know what? We need pitching, and we need to re-sign Frankie. We need to re-sign Conforto, maybe Noah. We'll see. Next year, another bad. They could low-key win the East. I mean, the Nationals have the pitching. Their lineup, I mean, having Juan Soto was scary enough. Added Josh Bell, added Kyle Schwarber. Trey Turner still a pain in the, they're tough. The Nationals are still going to be a tough team to beat, no doubt about it. Like, this season is just going to be grueling. The fact that we're going to have to face all these teams all the time is not going to be fun, no doubt about it. I mean, our team is good, but they're good as well, so it's going to be tough. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I missed. From Omar Quintana, Francisco Lindor. Yeah, it's a big one. Messi gave $260 million to Bauer. Trade match made the trade for shed payroll. Perfect rest of the season. Tyon Walker, Colome, Wilson, Kiermaier, Marisnik. Yeah, that's fair. I like that, Brandon. That's good. Brandon, you always have a lot of good stuff that you comment. I love reading what you have to say. Got Zimmerman back to. Yeah, I mean, Zimmerman's not going to make too big a deal. Can Jose Martinez play third? No, he cannot. First base, that's about it. I don't want him in the outfield. Angels need Bauer more than us. Yeah, but the Angels have not shown me so far in this offseason they really want to spend, and Bauer does not love Mickey Callaway. If we let Showman throw a wall history of line cap space, that's true, but what's our rotation looking like the year after? I mean, that's something we have to ask ourselves. Do you think season starts on time? I hope so. If the season doesn't start on time, I am going to be so mad because all these other sports start on time, and they're dealing with COVID perfectly fine, so baseball better start on time. What else do we have? Max Scherzer's starting to slow down. He is, but he's still going to be good. What do you think on the Jays maybe trade for Bryan and Hendricks? That would be nice for them. Like, the Blue Jays definitely need more starting pitching, no doubt about it. Chris Bryant, move him to third base. You can move Vladdy to first. You already have Bichette. You already got Biggio. I mean, Blue Jays would have a very good team. Like, they need a little more pitching to really compete with the Yankees. At least you could probably win the Central. Oh, yeah, for sure. Marlins, I mean, the Marlins beat the Cubs in the playoffs, maybe. We have a weak schedule in April and May. But the thing is, Tremont, the Mets always do good in April and pretty good in May. How's the Mets schedule looking like in June and July? Is the Mets schedule brutal in June and July? Because if it is, we are screwed again. The Jays make me so mad. I mean, we'll see. Did you see Heyman said the Mets offered basically – I did see that, but everyone's telling me that, Hand really wanted a closer deal, and the Mets would not guarantee him because Edwin Diaz is Mariano now. So, I mean, that definitely is unfortunate. I really wanted Brad Hand. You guys know that. I really, really want to get Brad Hand. Nami Jam is hurting the Mets more than we want to admit. It could be a thing. We'll see. I hope that's not a thing, but it could, because there's that, like, Sandy was in charge and is in charge, so that should really be what matters. And I think that the Mets should probably try to promote Zach Scott as soon as possible. This way it's like, okay, well, we don't have to worry about having a GM per se. We have one, just so it looks good for the organization standpoint. Hope Hand regrets his deal. I mean, it's only a one-year deal, so we'll see. Do you see expanded playoffs having this year? And do you think Mets need the expanded playoffs to make it? I think the Mets could make it in a normal wild card year, and expand playoffs, it probably could happen. We'll see. Trade for Kane and Hader, what would it cost? It would cost a lot of prospects, but it'd be a really nice trade. I love a trade for Eugenio Suarez and Garrett. Yeah, I mean, I would love it too, but we have to think about what prospects going back. Like, my two big untouchables are Alvarez and Matthew Allen. Those are the two guys I really want to try to avoid trading. And the Mets finally did not resign Frankie. Oh, the Mets have to resign Frankie. They have to resign Frankie. It is like beyond important. Like, we'll be all over them. The media would be all over them. The Mets would be like, the Frankie Lindor trade pretty much means nothing. We're trading for K-Bron Hayes. Listen, we need all the young upside guys we can get. I mean, he definitely would help out the infield. So, I mean, it, again, depends what we're looking to give up, but we could do it. I think Mets will go over luxury tax for Bauer. I'm not sure if they'll go over luxury tax, but I think they will go close to luxury tax. I feel like for the Mets, they offer Bauer either what they offered Springer or they offer him like a shorter deal. Kane and Hader would cost a ton. Kane's contract isn't good. Kane's contract isn't good, but Kane's defense in center field is good, because and the Mets need center field defense. Like, I really wanted the Mets to get Kane when he was a free agent a couple years ago. I bought my Lindor trades the day after the trade. Yeah, I'm not buying a Lindor jersey until they re-sign him, because if let's say the Mets somehow did not re-sign him, I would look at that jersey and just cry, be like, what could have been? So that would not be great. I'm trying to think, only 1 year deal. All right. Perhaps we platoon center sign McGee, a big left Bryant or not someone. Yeah, that is a possibility. I definitely could see it happening. I mean, I don't know if the Mets are going to make a big trade though. Like, I hope they do, but bring back the Black, they have to. Tough week, devastated over McGregor loss, and now Hanson. That's you were rooting for McGregor. That definitely was a rough match for him last night. If you was Steve. June, Mets play San Diego and Queens, Chicago, Braves, twice Phillies, and twice with Baltimore. I mean, Padres are going to be tough. Braves are always tough. We'll see how the Cubbies do. We just need a 2-year stopgap in center. Yeah, no, that's true. Really, Traymon, weird, because I don't really see it until about a week after. Okay. Let's see what else. This team has to make the postseason every year. We look good on paper, but always fail. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, the Mets always have like this high upside where it looks like the Mets could win a lot of games, but then they end up not doing it. So, I mean, we'll see. They definitely have the roster to do it. what starting pitcher do you think is traded next? If any starting pitcher is going to be traded, it's going to be Steven Matz. I mean, the fact that the Mets brought in Lucchesi shows you they do not feel great about Matz. Pirates might be worse than 22 Norris. They could be. Black Lindor jersey, that would be clean. That's the one I would get too, honestly. I would get the black Lindor jersey for sure, for sure. That definitely is the one I'm after. You think we are like a top 6 team in MLB? I'd probably say a little on the outside. I want to see our pitching before I say that. When on MLB Fanatics, no Lindor jersey. I thought that once the Mets signed Lindor that the stuff was for sale. That's what I read. I mean, I didn't actually look at it because I wasn't going to buy one yet. But I saw that they had the stuff on sale right away. Maybe they have T-shirts. I don't know. I thought that stuff was on sale already mid-season. But, I mean, I guess eventually it definitely will be. That would definitely be a nice way to make some money, no doubt about it. I can't wait to just see Lindor in person and just see him on TV. I am so excited to see him. Lindor's awesome. Yeah, no, I thought so too. Bauer has to be a target. I agree. The Mets need to start pitching. Like, what wins you championships? Starting pitching? Bauer could do that. I mean, again, if he is the guy that we think he can be. This team's legit World Series contender. It all depends on how the pitching looks. I mean, that's really what's going to decide everything. It really is going to be the pitching because I like the lineup, but, I mean, is Syndergaard going to be consistent? Is Stroman going to be consistent? If Mets don't get better, how mad are you going to be? I'm probably going to be pretty mad. If there's no Suarez or Gray Trade or Arenado or Chris Bryant, I'm not going to be happy. I'm definitely not. Because, like, you can get me Lindor. I love Frankie Lindor. He's one of my favorite players. But if the Mets, like, had a chance to really make themselves a World Series contender and then didn't do it, I'd be pretty frustrated. We just try to get Hendricks and Bryant. Yes. Mariano Diaz, got to love it. That's what it seems like. Only if 25th starts it out. That is, like, such the biggest what if, especially when we talked about Harvey yesterday. Like, I mean, if the Mets could have kept that rotation together, we'd still be a really good team. Because, like, don't forget, guys, the Mets lineup in 2015, other than when Cespedes got hot, Murphy got hot, like, the lineup itself was not great. It really was the pitching that carried them all the way to the World Series. Like, as good as the Yankees lineup has been, they have not been able to get to the World Series because of how important starting pitching is. Mets stands third best team in the NL. I'd probably say fourth. I still think Padres, Dodgers, and Braves are all better as of right now. Mets could be like third, but bro, we had Eric Campbell starting to. Yes, that is very true. Still no high Mets. I agree. Like, I didn't even think the Mets were going to win the first round against Dodgers. Like, I thought the Mets were going to lose. I can't believe they got that far. And what's so do you believe in analytics? I do believe in analytics, but I don't let it blind me. Like, I believe in analytics, but I look at the eye test. I look at the feel of the overall game. Like, third time around the lineup, it depends on what analytics is. Like, third time around the lineup thing, I sometimes think that's overrated. Like, if the guy is dominating, the guy is dominating. Like, when Blake Snell got taken out, what are you doing? Like, sometimes analytics could be bad. How many of these recent misses are due to the GM getting fired? I hope 0. That's really what I hope. Danny Munoz. The Mets had so many brutal players in 2015. I mean, we can go on. We make a whole list about it. I thought 2015 was a start. I did too. Oh, my gosh. If we got in this year, how far can we go in the postseason? I think if the Mets got to the postseason, that tells you that the Mets are good and that the rotation was probably good. The Mets could probably get maybe second round, maybe even championship series. As of right now, we chose the World Series. Familia blowing his save, Aaron Murphy. Yeah, Duda's era. It was brutal. World Series, like, they had a chance to win. Like, they had leads late in pretty much all those games. I miss David Wright. I miss David Wright too. He's another guy what could have been. Like, David Wright probably should have just retired. Like, he still should have been playing the past few years had the injuries not happened. I know, Draymond, you can keep going. Like, there are so many guys that were on that 2015 team that were brutal. I mean, so many players that had no business. Like, in June and July, the Mets would have these lineups that were just so bad in 2015. Like, that team was dead. Like, that team looked like they had no shot. Like, if in June or July you told me the Mets were going to make the World Series, I would have laughed in your face. I'll start John Mayberry, Eric Campbell. There were so many, man. Oh, my gosh. All those names. It's crazy how that year turned out. Do it in the outfield. I do remember that. Daniel Murphy in the outfield, like, much earlier in his career, like, these guys had to move around, no doubt about it. I mean, Duda did not belong in the outfield. He wasn't great at first base. That team, yeah, no. That 2015 team was special. But for me, the most special team was 2006. We won't get into that because I'll probably start crying if we talk about 2006 because I love that team. But it's tough. Kelly Johnson, yep. The members, Juan Uribe, he was in that trade. That trade is actually pretty good. I liked Kelly. Kelly was a really solid underrated player. I liked when the Mets got Kelly Johnson. I liked him a lot. Cicilline, yeah, he was another one. Yep. Wow, it definitely was a crazy year, no doubt about it. All right, anything else we want to get to? I mean, I'm still willing to go. F. Beltran? Oh, don't do that. That's my favorite player. Come on, Uribe, yeah. Right, average 100 hits in a season, more than a lot of Hall of Fames. Yeah, I just worried that if Dave Rice can have the amount of years Parnell, yep. I was surprised Gavin Cicchini lasted so long in MLB. That damn curveball Beltran. Yeah, no. The thing about, like, if we want to talk about Beltran, my thing is that, like, it's so easy for us to hate on Beltran. But let's put ourselves in Carlos Beltran's shoes. So first of all, a major league player, 3-2 count gets Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright throws his curveball, top of the zone, 3-2 count. Are you swinging that ball on top of the strike zone? That's ball 4, bases loaded. All of a sudden, that thing just dropped. It's really hard for me to kill Beltran. That pitch was not just, all of a sudden, it was down the middle. Would you have done alternative trade Lindor, Bieber for Rosario, Jimenez, Alvarez, Mauricio? Not really. I mean, Bieber is good, but I don't want to get rid of Alvarez yet. I can't do it. I won't get rid of Alvarez unless it's like it has to be something beyond crazy. I just won't get rid of Alvarez. That's just me personally. I worry about losing Hayes, relief pitcher will bite you after being good for a few years. But the thing is, there's only going to be a 1-year deal. The last pitch in the Mets players Familia gave that 3rd homer. We've been back to this. Yeah, that 2016 homer that Familia gave up was brutal. After Noah pitched so well, and the Mets lineup they did nothing against Mad Bum. That was just a playoff Mad Bum. It was very, very tough. John Neese, yeah, no, John Neese definitely impact. Mejia, yep. And I remember the Mets had brought back Neese too. Alvarez is next Mike Piazza. I hope so. I really like what I see from Alvarez. He's going to be such a difference maker for the Mets. Like, he's going to decide a lot for their future, no doubt about it. He's like the guy I'm most excited for. Remember that catch from Granny in 2016? Yep. Mets get Bauer, and he reveals his changes on the Patriots match, baby. Listen, Mets needs all the help he can get. Favorite Mets player of all time? It's Beltran, actually. I know it's a very unpopular. It's actually Beltran. I feel the Mets always go find the playoffs when they have their chance. It's good choices. Yeah, I agree. Mets need to get in the playoffs, and that's it. Reason why I like Beltran so much is like just a 5-tool player when it comes to defense, switch hitter, good clubhouse guy. I mean, for the most part, he was clutch in his career, like in the playoffs, other than that one at bat. But I just loved watching Beltran. He was so good. Jay's looking at Bieber and Ramirez. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy if the Blue Jays got Bieber and Jose Ramirez. 1-year deal isn't worth $10 million. I mean, he signed a 1-year, $10 million. Oh, Flattery, that's another going corner. Beltran's my favorite Met growing up as well. Yeah, no, Beltran has gotten such a bad rap lately, and it's unfortunate, but, I mean, I loved him. You won't be able to convince me otherwise. You can kill as much as you want. Beltran did so much for that team. Like, one pitch in that bat, he did so much for that team. DeGrom deserves best. He does. Monel, yeah, there were so many guys going. It's just crazy. I mean, maybe that could be a video, like how unpredictable that 2015 run was. That definitely could be a video in the future. You guys gave me a lot of good suggestions lately. That definitely will be videos in the future. First ballot Hall of Famer. I hope the Astro stuff does not affect that, because now that he got the ring, he had the glove, he had the playoff success, he hit. I feel so bad for him. Andy Chavez to go. That catch by Chavez in 2006, beyond amazing. Andy Chavez will always go down as like such a Met that will always be loved no matter what, even though he wasn't a great bat. DeGrom actually going to have a team. That was good. That was a pure AAA team. Yeah. Reyes was my favorite growing up. Yeah, no, that's fair. Reyes was exciting. I wish Beltran could have called in conference to clear his name about the Chance game, would have stayed GM for the Mets. Yeah, I mean, I think personally that Beltran, like, he got such a bad rap because Beltran was just a player. Like, I don't think Beltran actually had that big of a say in the scheme. I feel like he was the same as, like, you know, a Correa or Altuve or Bregman, these guys. Worst Mets of all time, Jason Bay, Mel Rojas. There are so many worst Mets of all time. That might be a future video as well. There's too many. Okay, I've gone up. All right, thanks, Greg. I really appreciate you commenting a lot in the stream and watching. See you later. I'm definitely going to do another stream. I said the Thank You for 1K stream will be, I'm thinking Thursday at around 8 o'clock. That's what I'm leaning towards. But we definitely could do more streams in the future if there's something you guys want to see. Just comment or tweet me or whatever, and I'll just do it more often. Just pop on here if I want to talk about a lot of stuff, especially like assigned streams are fun. Thank you, Luis. I'm definitely having a lot of fun too, being able to like talk to you guys more often. Instead of, you know, in the comment section, typing next person notifications, typing in the comment section. I try to get to as many as I can. Congrats, 1K. Thank you. I really appreciate it. If the Mets had the playoffs and Mickey Count had to manage, they call it the Godfather cheating scandal. They could say a lot. I don't think it was. That's just me. Maybe I'm being like biased, or maybe I'm being like stubborn. I just don't think he was. Mets history of against the World Series always been based pitching. 2006, they had a loaded lineup and detention there. 69, 73, 86, 2000, 2015. All great pitching. Yes, very good. Yep, they're fun. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, the Mets had some good pitchers in the past. I mean, that's what they're supposed to be known for, just in their history with pitching. And that's why I really hope that Bauer could be the guy that if they could bring him in. It's possible. John Buck. Yep, no, he was another one. I mean, John Buck had such a great start, though. He came in, hit like 14 home runs in April, and then that was it. Goodbye, John Buck. He was not the same. Do you trust Diaz? No. I do not trust Diaz game 7. Mets up by 1 LCS. No. But you know what? Like, I don't know. Maybe if Diaz was good the whole season and he showed us that he was good in 2021 as well, like 2020, maybe I trust him. But I know Brad Hand had that one bad playoff outing against the Yankees. But I don't know. Edwin Diaz, we'll see. I hope that Edwin Diaz really is the real guy in 2020, not in 2019. That is going to be extremely important that they did not get Brad Hand. Like, Diaz has to be lights out now. That definitely is one of the things that worries me. Bauer put a rotation over the top. If Bauer could be as good as he's capable of, he could put the rotation over the top, Hunter. No doubt about it. Oh, man. It definitely was rough, though. I like Diaz actually Benitez from the 2000 Mets. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we won't really know until the playoffs happens. But, like, I couldn't believe the Brand signing. Like, when I looked at my phone and I saw Brand had signed the Nationals 1 year, $10 million, I was like, oh, my God. Like, I was so pissed off. I had to record right away. Sandy needs to get Bauer. It's a must. I mean, with all the players that are signing right now that the Mets really want to get, I mean, Bauer's one of the only guys that really would make a big impact. Other than that, like, these guys can make an impact, but Bauer could definitely make a huge impact on the team, no doubt. I think we'll stop at midnight. I feel like that's probably won't stop. I feel like the Mets never got to go on the top. I mean, that's been the thing in the past because they never really had they would not spend the money to go over the top. But I really hope that's the thing that changes, Big Blue. If there's the form, should he be released? No, I don't think you release the guy. But I mean, maybe you get Branhand next year. I don't know. I believe Diaz can do it. He did great World Baseball PR. There was definitely pressure there. That's fair. Watch lose Bauer to the Angels 100%. That's possible. I mean, World Baseball Classic, it's fair. But I mean, 2019, I don't know. It's hard. It definitely is tough, no doubt about it. That's the other thing about Lugo World Baseball Classic. Lugo was lights out in the World Baseball Classic, and Puerto Rico used him so much that they made him have that tear in his elbow. That sucked. I thought the one McCann was saving more for free agent need. I mean, that's kind of why they got Lindor and these other guys. But, yeah, that's true. They did go cheaper with McCann, and it looks like they did the same with Springer. Trust me, there was pressure there. PR takes that serious. Listen, I'm half Puerto Rican, so I know that I took it serious too. But I don't know. I think that World Baseball Classic and playoffs and MLB is probably a little bit different thing. But, I mean, we'll see. I do hope that Diaz is the guy because as someone that is Puerto Rican, like, trust me, I root for Diaz. And that's probably another reason why I like Beltran so much. I feel this isn't great because in New York, Seattle, he was unhittable. I mean, yeah, Seattle, he was so good. I mean, 2020, like, if you watch Edwin Diaz highlights in Seattle, you watch Edwin Diaz 2020 highlights, like, the thing about Diaz is that his slider was there in 2020. Like, that slider was moving really, really good. So that definitely was a very good sign. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, like I said, we'll stop at 12. So we'll just keep going until 12, and then we'll just cut it off there. This way we could all get some sleep, and we could worry about what's next. Who knows what else is going to happen. I'm PR2. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, no, that definitely was exciting, the World Baseball Classic. PR almost won it, too. That was almost crazy. They gave USA a really good battle. And who pitched really for USA? Marcus Stroman. So maybe he could be a contributor. I think Stroman's actually going to be another guy who could be an X factor because I want to pose this question to you guys. If, let's say, Stroman is all-star this year, do you want the Mets to re-sign him? What do you think is next for the Mets? I think it probably has to be Jackie or something, maybe with the Suarez trade. I'm tired of hearing Yankees fan next door screaming in October when I'm hopefully sleeping. Do you live in NYC? I live on Long Island. Any moves this week? I imagine they will do something. That's first became a big fan of Lindor. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm a Lindor fan. Cano is hitting all these homers. Now he's suspended. Yeah, you know what? I'm starting to wonder if Cano was so good in 2020 because he was probably still in the juice. I think it's a fair question to ask, no doubt about it. Because, I mean, who knows? He probably still in the juice since he's suspended anyway. And plus, I mean, that's not a major league competition that he's doing right now in winter ball. But, yeah. I mean, the fact that Cano is suspended is helping out the Mets because they do have this money to spend. Good night, stream. And, Frank, thanks again. Thank you, Miss. I hope I said your name. Miss Sale? MP. You're giving me MP. That's it. MP, you're my man. Let's go. Strong eye. There we go. We have to move him. Move who? Cano? Yeah. Cano is going to be so hard to move. I've said that a lot, but, like, I want to move Cano, but who wants Cano? I don't think any team really wants it. Spend it on Bauer. I wouldn't mind it. The Mets could use the pitching. I'm for Bauer. I know, like, not everybody wants him, but I just think that he has upside. Like, I feel like you have to take the risk. If you want to go for it all, you got to take the risk. Can't move him. No trade clause. Who are we talking about? Oh, Cano's no trade clause? That's true. I mean, hopefully Cano would be willing to go somewhere else. That's a good point, Cornet. Yeah, but how much do you think Stroman would cost if he has a good season? He probably is going to cost a lot. Do you think Mickey Callaway could help us get Bauer? I hope so. How much would Stroman cost? That's a good question. Bauer would push us to the next level. He could. Yeah, the Stroman's contract is going to be because, you know, Stroman's going to be looking for a big deal. I feel like he probably, since he's young, he could get over $200 million, I think. We'll see what Bauer gets. I feel like Bauer's price could determine Stroman's price because they both have had inconsistencies, good years, bad years in the past. So I think Bauer's contract, if Stroman has a really good year, could definitely impact Stroman. Just imagine the Mets had 1990s Braves rotation. We could only dream of something like that for the Mets. If they kept the 2015 rotation, I mean, John Smoltz said that the 2015 rotation should be just as good as the one in the 90s. Cano went to my high school. Cano was from New Jersey. Oh, that's what's up, Mets season. Do the Mets have a plan? Are they shopping at a discount bar store again? I think the Mets have a plan. At least I hope. Terry, best manager, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, as far as like in-game managing, I did not love Terry, but seeing the way he stood up for his teammates, I did like that. With Smith at first, McNeil second, Lindor, and Arenado give them 2009 supposed greats infield run for their money. That's a very good point. If the Mets actually did have Arenado, their infield would be insane. How about Showman or Noah with both of them doing good? Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a really good question. Like, if in a perfect world, Showman and Noah are really good, and you have to re-sign Lindor, and you have to re-sign Conforto, that's a lot of question marks the Mets have to answer within the next offseason. I think Showman's high maintenance. I'd rather not bring it back. If he has these, actually prefer to deal for prospects and get something back from him at the trade deadline. The Mets are going to need someone to replace him as far as in the rotation. That's the problem. Like, the Mets don't really have the rotation right now to where they really could move Marcus Showman. Like, the fact that they're able to resign was pretty big because other than that, I mean, you have DeGrom, Syndergaard's hurt. You brought in Carrasco, good. Peterson, rookie year, 2 months. We'll see if he's actually that good. I think he is. I hope he is. But other than that, what else do we have in the rotation? You know, Showman came back off an injury, so we'll see. Sean Rosemary, I mean, that's fair. Conforto has an a-hole as his agent. That is very true, and I hope that Michael Conforto can, like, stand for himself and be like, you know what, Boris, I know you're annoying, but I want to be with the Mets. Mets want to pay me. Let's get it done. Boris is very annoying, though. That's a really good point, Tremont. Yeah, no. There's going to be so many question marks. Like, this offseason is interesting. Next offseason is going to be super interesting. Thor could be X Factor. Nicholas, Thor is the X Factor. I mean, because we talk about starting pitching. Thor is that guy that could really be like that big-time guy in the rotation that could take the Mets to the next level. I mean, will Syndergaard be healthy? Will he be 2019 Syndergaard? Will he be 2016 Syndergaard? We'll see. I mean, I hope he is. But, I mean, coming back off an injury, Noah's been inconsistent in the past. It's really hard. We need a righty. We should stay away from JBJ. I see a lot of people say that they want a right-hand center fielder. I'm okay with that. The Mets do have a lot of lefties. I just think that Jackie is so good defensively. I would like to get him. But, you know, as far as right-handed, you know, Cornet has pointed it out, but the analytics on Kevin Pillar are not good, and I don't love Marisnik's bat. So I just think that for the complete package, I like Jackie Bradley. I mean, like, I think sometimes people get too caught up on lefty-righty stuff. For me, I want the better players. So more so if they're lefty-right. I want good players. The Mets didn't resign Showman. He went with the 18-minute option because he was not going to get into it for anyone else. I mean, that's fair, but the fact is the Mets still brought him back. So, I mean, as long as he's on the team, JBJ Kennedy, he has some potential on the offensive end. Every good player comes to the Mets becomes the worst. Up the time of the door. I pray that doesn't happen. Are you going to be doing game recaps for the 2021 season? I have not decided on that yet. What I was thinking was I was going to do maybe like live streams during the game so we could like watch along and talk about the game as it's going on, react together, maybe something like that, because I used to do live game recaps before the channel got big and it didn't do well. So we'll see about that. What else we got? I want Buck Schulter as Mets manager. That's fair. What do you think about Bauer? I really want Bauer, Randy. I really think that Bauer could take the Mets to the next level. He has the potential to do it. Will he do it? Maybe. Of the bets have improved against as well. That's another good point, Cornet. Showman, dad lives a couple blocks from me. Yeah, no, Showman's from Medford, so he's long. I don't know. Mets are close to finishing the puzzle superstar team. We just need some pitching. I agree. Great idea, Frank. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I looked at James' career stats, and he's not terrible with the bat. He has, yeah, like that's the thing about Jackie. 288 average in 2020. He's hit 20 home runs in 2 previous years. He can hit. Like, he's not an automatic out. Please don't live stream against the Braves. Yeah, I don't think I should against the Braves. I'm probably going to be saying some bad words and be throwing stuff and screaming, so we might not get live streams against the Braves. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I feel like that would be fun just to react together, watch it together, like break down decisions that Ross is making during the game. Now Mets need to do better with international signing. Dodger done it. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there were a lot of good international guys out there that you guys have told me about that they should go after. Mets didn't get but too big internationally. Like, we thought maybe Sagano, but I don't know. Do we want other switch hitters since we only have Lindor? It would be nice, but like a guy could be a switch hitter and still be a bad hitter, like Jed Lowry. So I mean, like I love switch hitters, but we'll see. If we do get JBJ, do we trade Nimmo? Maybe him and Davis and Prosper Arenado, though Colin Cease wants to under the luxury tax. It's a possibility. I mean, I would like to keep Nimmo. I like to keep Dom, but I think that's possible, Luke. All the Mets need is a competent manager. Yeah, we'll see about Rojas. I don't know if he's good yet. I need to see him in a full season. The Braves brought back Sandoval. What else they want to do with those 72 size bets? Yeah, I mean, who knows? I guess they just want for depth purposes. I love to see how Mets will perform against the Dodge LCS. Yep, that's good. Was close. Yes. Very good point, Luis. Jackie Bradley won the ALCS MVP when the Red Sox won the World Series against Houston. He got a bunch of huge hits in the postseason. That's a very good point, Luis. That's something I keep forgetting to bring up. But, yeah, that is a very, very good point. So, I mean, that's good that, like, in the postseason, I don't want to say we can count on Jackie, but he can perform in the postseason. So that definitely is something that is overlooked. That's a great point, Luis. Yes, that's very, very good. Because that's what's going to come down to. Like, have a good night, guys. Be well. All right, good night, Ernie. We're almost done anyway. But, like, can these guys perform in the postseason? We don't know yet because some of these guys on the Mets have not been to the playoffs yet. It's still a very young season as far as position players. Herb Jazz asked for a lot of money. It's possible he has a lot of suitors. So if that's the case, the Mets are probably going to miss out on him. Then what do you do? I mean, if the Mets don't sign Jackie, they got to do something. And we'll see. Is it Bauer? Is it a trade? Jackie is really going to be the next big domino for the Mets. I really believe that. Because now the hand's off the board. I think, and Kike's off the board. Jackie is definitely his next big domino. By Ernie, we have the best broadcast baseball, the best shortstop, and we also have the best starting pitcher. What do you think about comments about last week about Brad Hand? You had a lot of comments, but I mean, we'll see what happens with Brad Hand. I guess he wanted to go to DC, but I mean, I hope that the Mets could still do something for the bullpen. They search the conversation. Good night. No problem, Mando. Good night, my man. Go for Bauer. I agree. It'd be nice to hear Cowbell Man back. Yeah, Cowbell Man would be good. I don't know if they do Bauer, how much would it be for? That's a good point, Randy. I mean, we'll see. I hope they can stay under a luxury tax and do it, but we'll see. If Sandy is shopping at discount, bring back Matt Javier, Perez, Scott Kaz, Daniel Murphy. I don't know, Lawrence. It feels like the Mets are sitting on their hands. I don't know. We'll see. Sandy said we're always hungry, so we're not going to. We got to make one big move. It really wouldn't make sense, to be honest, if they don't. Yeah, I mean, they should. I'm not turning MLB Network for a week. Yeah, MLB Network was tough to watch all the Springer stuff. Cohen and Sandy, too lax. They need to make something happen. Mothman, I feel like they will do something. Like, the Mets are not going to just have $30 million do nothing. They better not, because we'll be all over them. Wilpon, Vibers, Griebman. I understand that, but trust me, guys, they will do something. I'm mad about Brad Hand, but the Mets will do something. I am confident they will do something. Hey, Hope, how's it going? I mean, we only got a few more minutes, but if you guys keep asking questions, I guess I'll stay on. I mean, I don't really have a set bedtime, but I just thought 12 would be fair for everybody. But we'll see. An Aaron trade would be amazing if we don't get back. Yeah, Luke, I agree. I remember the game where Pete ran from a transfer and counts as first was when talked to me. He had 2 home runs. Yeah. No, I mean, there's just so many things in baseball with the rules that, like, we'll get to another time, but the replays and stuff, it drives me nuts in all the sports, not just baseball. Replays, I mean, there are so many weird rules and stuff like that. It just really sucks. But again, I don't want to see Wells fight for his players more. That would definitely be encouraging to see, no doubt. All right. Anything else we got here? The free agent window needs a deadline to reduce so many people on the fence. Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I feel like as we get closer to spring training, more people should sign. I know teams don't want to spend money right now, but it is pretty annoying that, like, we don't have a deadline for it. Cone needs to pull off a greater trade and sign Bauer, I guess you're trying to say. If they pull off Suarez, Paxton trade and sign Bauer, that would be crazy. That would be nice. Mets need JBJ. I would like JBJ. Mets need best break from Alonso, strikes out too much. Turning him into Chris Davis. I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, Alonso does strike out way too much. My thing is there a player you don't want the Mets to get? You would have to probably, like, give me an example. I mean, like, there's not someone I've seen them connected to. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope the Mets don't get him. But I mean, I guess, like, maybe Doolittle. I don't know. I mean, there isn't anybody that I'm, like, totally against. You'd have to give me a name, and then I'll tell you yes or no. I've noticed that any Martino love show I mess up. Listen, Martino says so much stuff that, like, honestly, I don't believe anything he says. Honestly, for Martino, ever since the Noah stuff with the Yankees, I don't trust a word he says. Remember Nick Evans? Yeah, no, I mean, there are so many Mets that guy's just gone now. Yeah, that's the thing about Nick. I was going to say about Pete. He swings for the fences too much. Like, Pete has so much raw power. Like, if Alonso just tried to put bat on ball, don't need to swing for the fences. He could do really good. He could hit for a high average, still hit home runs naturally. He overswings way too much. We're at everyone now, quote to the points. Yeah, no, I know, Mothman. I'm not that big on the Suarez Gray rumor. I understand that. Like, we haven't seen too much about it, but I hope it does happen. What can Tim Tebow do as the Mets hasn't played him? He's just there to sell tickets. Anthony Recker, oh my gosh. Anthony Recker, like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, go at people because I do want a job in the industry, but Anthony Recker, he talks a lot for a guy that was not good in the baseball as far as hitting. Like, he talks so much on SNY for a guy that did not hit well. Jeffries, I don't like the domestic violence, but he could help out the pen. After Porsche, we've been shot down at Mr. Pages, at least rumor going around. Mothman, I hope it's not true. I really hope that the Porter thing has not affected the offseason. I really hope that's not the case. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, so far, it has not been so good. Ever since the Porter thing, like some of you guys have said, things have been on a downward trend. I hope that changes. It better change. Because it is just so unfortunate for the Mets. Like, they had no idea about Porter, and this guy just came in and wham. So far, things have not been good. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. Anything else? We got maybe one more minute left, unless we got a lot more questions. But it definitely has been a lot of fun talking to you guys. We definitely could do this more often. No doubt. I know his Pete was 2 4 homers 2020. His home 19 were line shot. Yes, I agree. I love seeing the Anthony record rejection. Yeah, no, I mean, I like to see players have fight, but I also would like to see the Anthony record like hit the ball more often. If it doesn't change more often, I like that Mothman. That's a good one. You're gonna need to call it something. I hear Mr. Mel being the new GM. I mean, who knows? Jordy Valspin. Yeah, that's another guy. He was just gone. Are you excited to see? Oh, yes, I am very excited about Lucchesi, actually. We really get to talk about that. Yeah, man, I came late for Mets Fan Only. So I'm actually doing a stream with Mets Fan Only and Baseball Hut on Friday night. I believe it's at 7, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be talking with those guys. Or if I Scott Harrison, yeah, he was gone so quick too. I remember him as well. Yeah, though, there's so many Mets, like too many. But yeah, Lucchesi, I feel like he has upside. He could give Matt at least a push. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe he'll be the 5th starter. Maybe Tom Brady could play for Mets after Super Bowl. Who knows? I saw the preview. I'm excited. Yep, that's what's up. Imagine David Wright as GM. Who knows? I mean, David Wright in the front office, I don't see why not. Favorite current player? Jeff McNeil. I love watching McNeil play. I love his competitive spirit. He's fun, old school player. McNeil's my favorite. Dilson Herrera. Oh my gosh, Dilson Herrera. I remember one time I went to a Mets game and Dilson Herrera came up and he had a 0 average. I don't know if you guys remember when Dilson Herrera first came up, this guy couldn't buy a hit. He finally got a hit and I was just like, Herrera, you still have a 0 average. Like I was all over that guy. If you have all lefties in the pen, it's actually pretty obvious why Hand wasn't signed. All lefties in whose pen? The Mets pen? Because the Mets have Zamora, Blevins, and Stephen Tarpley. I mean, those guys I don't really feel confident about. So, I mean, the Mets need lefties. Ike Davis, yeah, we like Ike. I talked to him in my video yesterday about guys that they were here big time, had a lot of hype, and then boom, they were gone. But we like Ike. Ike Davis was a lot of fun. Remember Rafael Montero's our ace? Yeah, I talked about Montero. Guy's supposed to be better than DeGrom. He's been pretty good with Texas, but he was not better than DeGrom. Woodrow Buchera, our 3 best prospects for Suarez. What the first thought that comes to mind? Colin Cowgill. Yeah, he was another guy that was going way too quick. Suarez, I mean, like, I wouldn't be happy about it anymore. Like, if we lost Alvarez, if we lost Matthew Allen and I guess Mauricio, like, as much as I want Suarez, if we lost those guys, I'd be like, okay, we got a good third baseman. I like JD. Third base isn't our top priority. The fact that we lost our future catcher, lost our future ace, I would not be happy. Mike Negisis, yeah, I mean, no, I mean, you can keep going. Like, there's like probably hundreds of Met players that like were supposed to be good. Guys are gone now. Like they were not good Mets. Just way too many, honestly. Way too many. All right. Anything else? Let's see. Taylor talk. Yeah. I mean, so many guys. I mean, again, we can make like a million videos on how many guys just gone now. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now I have to get someone like Arenado for Alvarez. Honestly, even Arenado doesn't get it done. Like he's going to be 30 now. I still don't give Alvarez. Like I'm telling you guys, I don't think I'll give Alvarez for almost anything. I really don't. Your streams are fun. Love them, bro. Keep it going. Thank you, Mothman. I'm glad that you enjoyed it and that you supported and gave us a whole lot of comments and stuff to talk about. I really appreciate it. Valverde. That's another one. Remember Valverde was really good. Tigers, Astros came to the Mets. How many times did that happen? Frank Francisco, another one. He was good relief for the Rangers, came to the Mets. No good. Great stream. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are liking it because I was like on the fence. I was like, should I stream? Should I not? I just feel like I had so much more to say about Brad Hand. And just like, I got so many comments. I was like, let's just talk about it. Hope so, Tremont. Yeah. I mean, NL East champs, NYM. I mean, they could do it, but I mean, the Braves are still going to be tough. And just the division in general is going to be tough. Like the Mets better be able to make the wild card. Daisuke Matsuzaka. Oh my gosh. Yes. Daisuke. That's a really good one. I mean, Daisuke was nowhere near the pitcher he was in the Mets when he was with Boston. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Daisuke. That's a really, really good one. I mean, he was like, in and out, like quick, very quick. Daisuke was in and out. Oh my goodness. All righty. I mean, how many wins do you think this team? I would say around 95. Mets can't stay on the tax to sign Bauer. It looks that way. I hope they could find some way to pull it off. Alex Best Division Baseball, no doubt. Vince Coleman, Kyle Farnsworth. Oh my gosh, Kyle Farnsworth. Yes, he was good at the Yankees. He came to the Mets. Oh, that happens with so many players. Good Yankees, bad Mets. Like one of the very few exceptions was Grandy. Tanja, Katsu. Oh, yeah, Katsu. Yeah, no, there's a lot of them. There are so many. I talked about Matsui yesterday in the video about prospects, which actually got copyrighted, by the way, guys. So I couldn't even put ads on the video because YouTube put in a copyright claim because I used the highlights from the Matsui highlights. I was like, oh, my gosh. So that's Chris Young. Yep. No one will hit that Lucchesi curve. Yo, Lucchesi's curve is nasty. I mean, oh, my gosh. I can't see that thing. Chris Young. How about Chris Young? Good pitcher. Bad with the Mets, good in the playoffs against the Mets in the World Series. Go figure. And it was almost the GM until he went back to Texas to be a GM. Even though stat-wise, Grandy wasn't saying I still loved him. Yeah, Grandy was just like good all around. Leadoff hitter, middle of the order, hit a home run, stolen bases, good clubhouse guy. I don't know. Grandy was just good in the postseason. I love Grandy. Grandy was a very good signing. That was actually one of the signs that actually worked out well. Lucchesi, crazy upside. Yes, I'm excited about Lucchesi. I think he's going to get a fair chance because he had no place in the Padres organization with how many pitchers they got this offseason. So I think Lucchesi is going to be a really cool one. I'm excited about him. And I think he's definitely going to get a fair shot, especially with Noah being out to start the season. I mean, Matt's better perform because if he doesn't, Lucchesi is going to take your spot. So Kenny Rogers, yeah. Love to check it out. Thank you, Brandon. Good to see Blevins. Like, yeah, I mean, we'll see if Blevins actually makes the major league team. Like, we'll see what happens in spring training. But I mean, it is good to see Jerry back. I mean, he obviously didn't finish his Met career as good as he started. Glavine, I liked Glavine, but I mean, the playoffs, especially the collapse, that sucked. That was really bad. Gabriel, why are you sad, man? What's going on? The Brad Hand stuff? Great stream, buddy. Thank you, Cornet. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Glad you supported. And you obviously you do great articles. Honestly, if you guys don't read Cornet's articles on Mets Junkies, I definitely encourage you to check it out. It's in the description of my videos. My favorite game was the home runs against Twins. Yep. I think the walk-up against the Dodgers, I think Randy had. That was a good one. Omar Quintana, yeah, he was another good one. I saw his bridge against Kansas City. Oh, yes. Mets everybody needs spring training. We need to see like Jose Martinez, like all these guys that we signed, Brandon Drury, like, these guys going to make the team or not? We need spring training. Granson should be on our farms. Granson's a great guy. Pearson, 5-star when Thor comes back. I think he could be. I like David Pearson a lot. Like David Pearson, he looks like he could be better than Matt's. I mean, Pearson's stuff looks really good. We stoked down Springer and hit. Oh, Gabriel. Yeah, no, I understand that. Any chance Eichhoff makes the team? I don't think so. I hope not. Because I don't think Eichhoff's that good. If he is that good, that's good. Or even the Mets suck and he got into the rotation, unfortunately. I mean, obviously the Mets should have got Springer, but Blue Jays gave way too much money. The Mets could not match it. We'll put him over the tax for a guy that was only going to be in here for 2 to 3 years. I'll vlog from Port St. Lucie March 4th against the Blue Jays. Once we can go back to games, I am going to go to spring training eventually. I am going to go to Mets games and do vlogs there from like not only Citi Field but other stadiums. That definitely is a big goal of mine. It's in the plans, no doubt about it. But yeah, Gabriel, I understand that you're upset. I'm upset too, but they definitely still could do more. Like there's still plenty of more guys to be signed. Sandy has got to have something up his sleeve. He just has to. John Neese, yeah, no, I mean Neese had his good moments when he was younger. I mean he definitely got like unfairly criticized, I will say, for the most part of his Mets career. But I mean, and then in 2015 he had a little bit of a role with the team, so that definitely was interesting. They got him at the trade deadline. I think Mets are thinking long-term and don't want to sign as much for this offseason. Yeah, I think so too. It's only year one. Got the 20-game plan for fans. Oh, that's going 100. I'm in. Okay, that makes sense. What do you think can make a comeback? Who do you think can make a comeback as a Met this year, though? If anybody, I'd probably say it's Mets. Where Musso say he's not keen on New York, I said screw him because if you don't play New York, don't come to New York, even if money is there. I mean, that's what it looks like. I guess Brad Hand didn't want to be in New York. How important is luxury tax, and why can't we just blow past it? I mean, we'll see about luxury tax because the fact that the Mets offered all that money to Springer makes me think they're not worried about the luxury tax. But the problem is that the more you go over the tax, the more you get penalized. If you went crazy, eventually your draft pick could get hurt. And we don't know what the new penalty is going to be at the new CBA. I think who said Lawrence? I think so. Oh, no, Jeremy said that. So we'll see about that. What about Brooklyn Cyclone Stadium? I mean, I would love to go to a Cyclones game because honestly, if Alvarez is there, I'm going to a Cyclones game. I need to see Alvarez in person. No doubt about it. I love Cohen want to celebrate Bonilla by giving him this check at the stadium. That would be fun. I mean, this way it's not something negative because like Bobby Bonilla Day is always something negative in Mets history, and he definitely would like to change that mentality. So that's always something negative. So I'm all for the Bobby Bonilla Day. How much could the luxury tax change this year? I don't know. I mean, I've seen some people say it could go down. They could get rid of it altogether. I don't know. With the pandemic, maybe it goes up a little bit, but I don't think anything crazy. Wilpons basically built a AAA team around David Wright. I mean, yeah, they definitely were. They definitely did not do enough. Luxury tax is going to go up after new CBA. I hope so. That'd be nice. Bauer 3 years, $100 million. Wow, that's a lot of money, Mike Breen. But I mean, if that would get him here, that's a lot of money. That's probably a little too much. As much as I want Bauer, that's probably just a little too much for what I'm looking to give him for me. No doubt. But I mean, the CBA, that's probably going to decide everything because I know eventually Cohen should go over the luxury tax. With all the money he has, he should. Mike Breen, that's the guy's name that season. It's not actually, I don't think that's the Knicks announcer. If it is, help me get a job at MSG. But no, I think that's just the name he used. Or it could be a real name. I don't know. RIP LT. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we have lost so many people, not only baseballers, but just like in general. The past year, it is like so sad. I mean, Hank Aaron, there's just so many. Bang, Lindor goes deep. How about that? How about Mike Breen announcing a Mets game? That'd be so cool. I come from Dumpster diving down the street. That's funny. Bang! There you go, Mike Breen. I saw a picture. It was Barstool posted, but they said like it showed Mike Breen says, I'm gonna say bang so MF loud right now. And that's so funny because Mike Breen comes out of nowhere with the bang. There's also Steve Cohen who work. You know, I get that Cohen works, but I mean Cohen's gonna make plenty of money at his day job, like he said before. So I mean, he still should spend money on the team in Brooklyn Cycles. Oh, okay. There's no Steve Cohen works cycle. Okay, I got you. I'm thinking, yes, people say it's okay, Springer, but who will be our center field for the future? I'm hoping the guy is P. Crow Armstrong. That's what I'm hoping. How far I think Metropolitans are going this year? I mean, as of right now, I'm thinking maybe like second round, but if they can actually get Bauer or do something crazy, I mean, I don't see why they couldn't get to the championship series. And if everybody is playing at their best, maybe World Series, I don't know. If everybody's playing at their best, that's a huge if. Huge if. Let me definitely not get that crazy. Is there people saying Mets wear black jerseys in World Series? I need to see the black jerseys back. Those are my favorite jerseys. I really hope that the Mets bring them back. I really, really hope those come back. I know they will come back. I'm just excited to see it. How much would you offer Lindor? Whatever he wants. I mean, it comes down to that. Like Lindor, think of what Mookie Betts got. If Lindor wants that, take it. I mean, Lindor is that kind of caliber guy. Let's first make the playoffs. I agree, Trayvon. Mets got to get there first. I totally agree. I mean, let's see what happens in a wild card game. I still don't think they're going to beat the Braves in the division, but we'll see. What's up with Jake, Matt? I have no idea. Whatever he wants. I ain't Gabriel. That's the way I'm thinking. Yeah, because, I mean, that's just the kind of caliber play Lindor is. He deserves whatever he wants. Like, I'm not going to give you a number. Just like if Lindor says what I want is 12 years, $350 million, sign it. You have the money. Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Trevor Marcus, Sean Cousin, Dave Pearson, best rotation in baseball. If everybody is their best selves, it could be. I'm pretty sure we have pick 7 in the draft this year, which is crazy. That would be really nice. Lindor is great, but he doesn't have the experience Mookie does. He doesn't have the experience Mookie does, but he's younger, so I feel like that gives him more value, and he's still a top 5 player. So I think he deserves that kind of contract. He's still a top 5 player, so he deserves above $300 million. Let's at least put it there. We are not the Yankees nor Dodgers that make the playoffs without the season even starting. That's true. It's not a guarantee. JD still goes average. Yeah, the Mets haven't come to a deal with him yet. Mookie was MVP and World Series champion, though. Well, I mean, Lindor, he could have been a World Series champion if Cleveland didn't blow it. Like, I mean, they had a very good chance. And I mean, Frankie has MVP potential. Who's one Met you want to be traded? I mean, there's nobody that like I want to get rid of. I mean, well, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. There's 3 Mets I want to get rid of. Actually, there's a few now I think about it. I want to get rid of Cano. I want to get rid of Familia, Betances, Brock, Castro, all those guys. See you later. I would love to get rid of them. I mean, because they just don't do it for me. Like, they're getting paid too much, and they're not that good. Would you trade Thor for MLB-ready prospects? I can't do it yet. The Mets need the pitching, so I can't trade Thor yet. This team has to take Lindor to the playoffs. Lindor made a push 4 or 5. Yes. Lindor wanted the team to really make more money, want to spend more money and to really be a competitive team. So the Mets better do that. I mean, that's why Lindor was unhappy with Cleveland. Even though the Cleveland is a very good organization, they win a lot of games, and they were in the World Series. I mean, the Mets were in the World Series too, but unfortunately, you can't win it. P said black jersey, we want Friday home games. Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to be. I'm excited. I can't wait. I really can't wait for that. It should just be like every Friday. You know what I mean? Like, don't just wear it a couple of times because just home games, that's really going to limit. Like, I want to see the black jerseys more often. I also want to see the 86 jerseys more often. You know what I mean? With the stripes, those jerseys are nice. I would love to see the Mets wear some 86 jerseys every now and then. Thor trade, yes, that's very true, Mike Breen, is that now is not the time to trade Thor. Like, they had their chances in the past to do it, and they never did. So now is not the time to do it. Steve Phillips available for GM? I mean, who knows? Mets bring back a soda bottle, and you see a free game at Mets like shit because of the economy. I don't know. Maybe Lawrence. Batan straight up burned out after he recovered from his injury. He's never the same after he was with the Yankees. That's what it looks like, Johnny. I mean, we'll see what happens this year, but it looks like Don Batan is not the same pitcher that he was, which is very unfortunate because I was so excited for him. And we know how much the Mets need relief pitching, so I was all for him, no doubt. All right. Any more, guys? Mike Trout is getting paid more. Yes, that's very true. He's getting paid more. Mets in 18 supposed to head to rebuild mode, but didn't. Yeah, I guess. I don't know about that because don't forget, Brody came in and said, we're going to win World Series. We're going to be in it every year. And, he made this whole big claims. So I don't think the Mets were ever like rebuild, because if they were in rebuild, you would have traded DeGrom, which you can't do. But that would have shown me true rebuild. I don't think the Mets were ever true rebuild. A6 jerseys fire. I agree. I love the A6 jerseys. I wish Mets would wear them more often. Like the last time they won was 2016. Like, we really don't see the A6 jerseys quite enough at all. Those are really, really nice jerseys. And they bring back good memories of a team that was really good and won a championship, which can't say Mike Trout, the Mets, McCallum, Stevie, yeah. Come guess, Brody. Yeah, that was Brody. How much years for Armstrong and Beatty? I'm thinking that for both of them, it's probably going to be, I would say, 2 to 3 years. Cop to Keith A6 jersey. That's definitely a nice jersey. I love Keith Hernandez. I loved him as a player. I know I didn't watch him, just like from what I know about him, just that he was a defensive first guy. I know batting gloves, hit for average. I love him in the at the broadcast booth. Put the Mets back on WE. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why if they're still owned by the Wilpons. So who knows if Steve Cohen will hopefully change that soon. Good night. Hey, see you later, man. Thanks for always supporting. Back WEA. I guess that used to be the original channel they were on. I mean, I started watching the Mets in 06, so I always know them on SNY. You know, or unless you're trying to say bring them back on the Fan, which could be something. I remember when the Mets were on the Fan. But, I mean, they're on 880 now, so it's kind of like WEAN. I mean, is that still even a station anymore? I haven't seen that on the TV lately. But, I mean, that's probably before my time, I guess. I don't really know WEAN. What do you think the Mets could get for DeGrom? You know what, Trevor? I don't even want to speculate about it. I don't really want to think about it. I imagine a lot, though. Like, I imagine they can get some, like, top 5 prospects from whatever organization they choose. Oh, WFAN. Okay, Lawrence. Yes, I agree. I bring the Mets back to WFAN. I mean, that's the Yankee station now, so I don't think the Mets are going to come back. At least they're on 880, because that's one of the things, guys, that, like, on Long Island, when, yeah, WWR, yes, that's what I was about to say. I could never get that station. I'd be in the car. I could not hear the Mets game. It would drive me nuts. At least 880, you get a pretty good signal. You can actually hear the Mets game on Long Island. Stuff drives me nuts. If we don't get Trevor, I think the Mets offseason is done, to be honest. I mean, let's see. They still could maybe do the Suarez great thing. They could do some more stuff. I love SY. The only good thing the Wilpons did was buy SNY. I mean, who knows? They might get rid of it soon. Boo, Yankees. I know, but I mean, it's their station. So spring right field 3 is very true, Brandon. I mean, that's why it's a 6-year deal. Like, Mets need a center field, but it's not a long-term solution. Glad we didn't get him. I mean, we'll see what the alternative is, though. I mean, that's really going to depend on everything. Like, Mets didn't get Springer. What did they get instead? That's going to be important. DeGrom has to stay in Met forever. I hope the Mets learned that less after the trade with Tom Seaver. Yes, very true, John. I do hope DeGrom is a Met for life. He better be. And I imagine that the Mets have to give him a raise eventually and re-sign him again. You know, we'll see. Because so far, DeGrom has been aging really, really well. DeGrom does not get enough credit for that. Guy who is over 30 and his velocity is going up, that's amazing. Lucchesi going to be a breakout star with us, similar to Lugo. That would be nice. I mean, he has the big-time curveball that Lugo does, so who knows? I mean, he's lefty, and his delivery is very unique, too. If they're trading him, I'll never root for this team again. Yeah, I mean, that would we shouldn't even talk about it because, like, I hope that never happens. I don't even want to think about that happening. All right. DeGrom hit 103 in the last years of 2020. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. They're right. I guess Washington, would you trade Noah? Not right now. I was much more willing to trade Noah years ago, but this year I can't because the Mets just need the pitching way too much. They just have to see if Noah could be a 2016 guy. He would be too important to the team right now. So this year I want it. In the past, I was much more open to it because I thought that for a while, Noah, like, he could be good, but he was just too inconsistent. And, like, with the 5-inning stuff, it didn't work out with the bullpen because the Mets didn't have the bullpen for that to be sustainable. And the fact that they didn't get Hand does not happen. DeGrom for Mike Trout, okay, that's a little better. What are your opinions on Buxton to the Mets? It depends on what they give up, but that would give them the glove they need. Buxton's bat isn't great, but he could help them out. I'm glad I'm not a Nats fan. Oh, my God, yeah. I do not love listening to the Nationals broadcast. That is not a fun one. I love the Mets broadcast. I really do. I love the radio. I love the TV. I think both are really good. Yankees should tell us with Clemens and steroids, actually won roasters. Then, yeah, hitting Piazza and all that stuff. Yeah, no. Definitely am not a Roger Clemens fan. He is someone that I'm not crazy about. Like other guys that were connected to steroids, like Manny and Poppy, like I got no problem with them, but Clemens, I really don't love Roger Clemens at all. I don't think any Met fan likes Roger Clemens. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. What's your goal for the year? For me, for the YouTube channel, I don't really have like a goal in mind, but just like something where if I could like not have to get a job and I could just do YouTube, that would be the goal. But I mean, will the channel grow that much? I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, as long as the channel keeps growing and I can make some money off it and keep talking to you guys and talk about the Mets. And like the thing is that like for me, I just want to get this all out of the way right now. My main goal in life is not to be a YouTuber. My main goal in life is to have some kind of job in the sports industry, whether it's broadcasting, whether it's writing or radio or something like that. That's what I'm about. This YouTube channel is just a portfolio just to show what I could do. That's what this whole YouTube channel is about for me. If I can be a YouTuber, I'm all for it. Should we send a million for Bauer? Who says no? Probably every Met fan because that's too much money. Should we look into a new closer or re-sign Edwin? Well, Gabriel, according to the Mets, Brad Hand's not as good as Edwin Diaz, so it looks like Diaz is going to be the closer. NOB. Are you calling me a noob? I mean, okay, whatever. No big deal. Gary Cohen is the best. Mets could be losing 4-0. I'm still watching it because Gary's on. Yeah, I love Keith. Keith is so funny. Like, if tell him Frank, like if you guys see when Keith Hernandez, when there's a long extra inning game, Keith is not happy. Keith wants to go home. Keith is making noises. He cracks me up. Keith wants to go home, have dinner. He does not like the long drive back to Long Island. He cracks me up. Keith is so funny in the booth. He's lazy too. You see Keith, he just wants to chill out. Hope you come. That's Kevin Burkhardt. I love Kevin Burkhardt. Like, I wish he could stay with us and why, but I'm so happy for Burkhardt. He's doing great with Fox. He is like a guy that I definitely look up to. If our team is not good this year, I want to be Bryce Harper's team, I guess. No air for Mets will no for the Mets win Belgia. All right, Lawrence, I think we got to work on making sure what made you a Mets fan. That's a great question, Gabriel. So in 2006, I was 10 years old at the time, and I was in my grandma's house, and I was walking past the living room, and my dad was watching the Mets. And Carlos Delgado just hit a big home run, and people going crazy. And my dad was all excited. I was like, Dad, well, he was like, oh, I'm watching the Mets. You should watch it, right? So 2006, this was probably around sometime in the middle of the summer. I sat down, I watched, I was like, wow, the Mets are good. And I watched it the whole summer. Mets were great. Got to the playoffs. One game for World Series. I was like, Mets going to go to the World Series. And I was like, you know what? We didn't make it to the World Series 2006, but we'll be back. We didn't get back to 2015. So what got me started was 2006. My dad was watching the game, and I saw it. I was like, I love this team. Nationals fans should be ashamed of broadcasting. See you later. That's so annoying. There are so many broadcasters, like just in general, that annoy me. Just a lot of them we're not crazy about. What's your favorite Met? Who's your favorite Met and favorite Met memory? Okay, my favorite Met, I said earlier, is Carlos Beltran just because he's such an all-around player. But I think my favorite Met memory, God, it probably just has to be the team making the World Series in 2015, I would have to say. Clemens is a bum. He threw a broken piece of bat at Piazza. The ball thrown. Yeah, no, I hate Clemens. The young guy the Nats have is so annoying. I haven't heard him in particular. I just heard the regular guys. Joe Buck. Yeah, Joe Buck, like, I know Joe Buck is like good, but Joe Buck does everything. Like, one guy gets to do the World Series, gets to do the Super Bowl. Like, Joe Buck gets all the gigs. I'm like, can I get one? Jeez, Joe Buck, like, let other announcers have a chance. Jeez, I know he's good, but dang, he gets all the jobs. No, for the Mets, when Beltran was a Cardinal, yeah, or when Beltran was an Astro. I mean, Beltran was one of the best players in Mets history. Like, he was really good. Who's the team you think is in trouble if they don't move quick? The Angels. The Angels got to get Bauer. I mean, if the Angels don't do anything big, that's huge. The moment Rosso said we got hand, but we didn't start then. Matt, great point. Great point. I thought the Mets got Brad Hand like a couple Fridays ago. Mets are close to Brad Hand. I was ready to make the video. I was like, oh, yeah, Mets got Brad Hand. Let's go. And then I was like, oh, the deal isn't close. But don't forget that happened with James McCann. And the fact that Mets didn't get Hand, I'm thinking that was something with the agent to try to get other teams to up their price. And then what happened was that Brad Hand eventually changed his agent shortly after. So I think that's something to do with that, with Brad Hand. Any ideas on Buxton? He would make great center field. Yeah, I like Buxton. I don't see why I should make a trade. Joe Buck was really against Mets. Yes, Joe Buck is from Missouri, so I could hear a little bit of a Kansas City bias. He definitely was for the Royals. I don't think he was for the Mets in that one. What was the first thing that came to your mind when the Mets officially signed Bauer? I'll let you know if the Mets signed Bauer because I haven't seen that yet. Was Carlos Beltran a foul ball or fair ball? That was a fair ball, but I'm not complaining. Johan got a no-hitter. Mets fine got a no-hitter. I'm not complaining. Nets fans aren't real baseball fans. I mean, I don't know. I guess not. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, there's some fan bases that all of a sudden they show up once the team is good. But, I mean, whatever. Nationals won the World Series. And that was so disappointing because, like, the Mets were like, I don't want to say better than the Nationals, but the Mets beat the Nationals a lot in 2019. And the fact that the Nationals went all the way is still just so frustrating. Rad. Okay. I love Castillo, but the fact the Cubs want Alvarez makes me just give it. Oh, I guess talking about the Reds. Reds signed Bauer. Yeah, I'm not giving up Alvarez. I agree. Bandwagons. Magnum is this okay? Are you Giants or Jets fan? For football, like I don't really have too big of a big difference. I root for both just because I want to see New York teams actually do well, especially in football. So I don't really like Jets and Giants. Like it's kind of like here, like they're very close to me. Bauer honestly gives best rotation baseball. He could. Man, you've been looking. You go for I have major. Yeah, no, I'm tired, bro. My throat hurts. I'm tired. Ari Dickey was a good one. Do you think the Mets get Bauer or third baseman? I'm thinking Bauer. I mean, the third base, like they've alluded to it. but I'm not sure if they're actually going to do it because I think pitching is a bigger priority than third base. At least to me, I think it is because JD Davis, like, I want to give him a shot. I want to give Luis Guillermo a shot, but pitching, like, I think it's a bigger deal. Todd Frazier sucks. I'm not crazy about Todd Frazier. Who won the Tyone trade? We'll see. I'm guessing the Yankees because they need the pitching, and those prospects weren't huge. The Cubs want Alvarez for Bryant. So the Reds will. Oh, no. Okay, you're right, man. I got your understanding. Yeah, I got you saying. Yeah. Cubs want Alvarez for Bryant. Yeah, no, I mean, the Reds wanted Glaber for Castillo, so I imagine they wanted Alvarez. And like I said, you're not trading Alvarez. So Jared Porter said back to franchise, maybe Luis Castillo dropped. That was brutal. JD's favorite. Yeah, I like JD a lot. If we do another big move, what is it? I'm thinking more likely is Bauer, just for the sake that the Mets need the pitching. I don't think they want to give up more prospects. I've got to head out in case the Bauer video in the morning. Listen, Jeremy, if they sign Bauer, the video will be out. So I sure hope you're right. I really, really hope you're right. If you're giving this a shot, that JD's on too. Yeah, no, I agree, Luis. That's a good point. Who is Beatty compared to in the majors? Oh my gosh, I remember seeing the comparison. I can't remember exactly who it was though. I'm blanking on it right now. But I mean, the thing about Beatty is that he's like a left-handed bat. He can give you like I say maybe. I'm trying to think like Jake Lamb because he's a lefty bat that used to hit a lot of home runs. But we'll see. What's the best Mets game you've been to? I'm trying to think of a good Mets game. I went to a lot in 06. I went to 2 in 2019. I'm trying to think what was a good Mets game. There was one I went to in 06 where the Mets played the Oakland A's and Jose Reyes had like inside the park home run in the first inning, and the Mets scored a ton of runs in the first inning. That was probably my best one, I guess. I think Brad's decision was based on cultural. Spirit's decision was possibly a Porter situation. Cliff Ford and I twins, we share the same birthday. Says, oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I like Cliff Ford. He's awesome. I've always been against the actual scandal because even if they knew what was coming, so blah, blah. Koufax, he would tell the bad pitch. Yeah, that's true. Michael Kay may call Yankees, but he talks good things about the Mets. I don't listen to Michael Kay all that much, but I mean, at least he's fair to the Mets. I like that. Good 2019 was the best game I watched. Oh, you were at the Good 4 game? Oh my gosh. I watched the game on TV, honestly, but I wish I was at that game. I want a spring trainer facility. Cespedes ride horse in too. I mean, who knows what team Cespedes is going to end up. I think it might be like the Orioles, but who knows where Cespedes is going. Best food at City Field? Shake Shack. I mean, I love Shake Shack. The burgers, the shake. That's the stuff right there. I hope Cohen actually does bring a Carvel. That would be awesome. I was a 2000 Bobby Jones one here against Giants playoffs. Oh, that's a good one. P. Alonso's right-handed version of Joey Gallo. Maybe. I mean, he doesn't play outfield defense like Joey Gallo, but all or nothing power hitter maybe. I don't care about that much Cespedes. Yeah, no, I mean, Cespedes, I'm done with him. I mean, this year was such a disaster with Cespedes. The whole situation was just terrible. I mean, it was such a bad look for the organization. The only games I went to was all in F6. We swept them. 06, 07. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I mean, once the Mets weren't as good, I was like, I'm not going to pay money to go to the game. So I didn't really go. Remember the 11-1? Oh, my God, 100. Yes, the 11-1 start in 18. I remember thinking the Mets were – I was like, oh, my God, Mickey Callaway's a good manager. Mets are going to be good in 18. I remember that. That was horrible. You think they're broke with McNeil second or third? Second, because I think Jeff McNeil is a good second baseman. Third base, he didn't look great there in 2020. In 2019, he was okay, but bring back Big Sexy. Yeah, let's get Bartolo in here. We just harassed Barry Bonds for 3 home runs straight. Yeah. At first, I thought Cespedes pulled a Jose Fernandez. Yeah, that was scary. No, this situation of Cespedes was scary. We had no idea what happened. I said between third. Oh, left field. I didn't see that on Mets season. I thought you said I said that's that. Oh, that's awesome. I am Larry from Brooklyn, W from Joan. Oh, that's what's up. Hey, listen, give it the good word with Evan. Let me get a spot with him after Carton's done. I love listening to. I love listening to Joe. It's since they retired. I listen to them every single day, Joe and Evan. I listen to Carton a lot too. If only Brody's dummy didn't trade for Kalanick, we wouldn't need to worry about stuff. Yes, I completely agree, Gabriel. What's your view on how we get rid of Cano's contract? I think Edwin Diaz went in the right direction last year. Larry King died. Yes, he did. Larry King dying was very sad. How do we get rid of Cano's contract? The only way to do it, there's 2 ways to do it. Number 1, you trade Cano with the prospect. Number 2 is you do a long buyout. That's the only way you're going to rid of Cano's contract. Other than that, Cano has a no trade clause, and who wants Cano? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But yeah, like I said before, so many people passed away. Javi Baez and Lindor next infielders. That would be awesome. We could sign Javi Baez. He's going to be a free agent. I mean, Javi Baez can move around. He can play third, he can play second. I love Javi Baez on the team. He's great. Put him in Lindor. Those guys up the middle, they already have a good Puerto Rican connection. That'd be pretty cool. I can't deny it. That'd definitely be a nice combination up the middle. But, I mean, I like McNeil and Lindor. Wonder why hasn't been no interest in Didi. Yeah, I mean, the whole shortstop market has been really weird right now between Didi and Simmons and who's the other guy that's on the market right now? Semien. Those 3 guys on the market, how has no one signed them yet? I mean, teams need shortstops right now. They're playing teams that could use some shortstops, and all 3 of those guys are solid players. I mean, Simmons more so for the defense, but Semien is really good, and Didi could swing the bat. I don't think we need to pay a lot for Robson because our Mariners paid part of his contract. I mean, they're paying a small part of the contract, I think like $4 million a year, but not too much of it. A dream of buys on the door. Yeah, I hope you're on mutual sides with the Jays. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. This way he's out of the league. Don't worry about him with the Phillies. I think he's staying with the Phillies. I mean, the fact that the Phillies offered him 5 years, $100 million, how do you not take them? Shortstop market going to be crazy next year? Yeah, I mean, that's why like Lindor is going to be a free agent. Like Correa is going to be there. Baez is going to be there. Story's going to be there. Seager's going to be there. So we'll see. Trey Nimmo, I don't like Trey Nimmo. I think Nimmo is a really good guy because he gets on base so much. He helps out this team a lot, hopefully in left field. We'll see. Best pitchers next year are 30. I didn't realize Greinke was 30. Yeah, Greinke is getting old. I mean, that's the thing about Bauer, too. Like, what other pitchers are you going to get that have that Cy Young upside? There are no other guys in the free agent market that have Cy Young upside like Bauer does, or at least guys that could give you a low 2 ERA. These other starting pitchers cannot do what Bauer could do. I mean, I'm just looking at upside. Like, if in the perfect world, the best version I get, Bauer is just the next level compared to these other guys. Nimmo, top 5 defensive outfielders in the league. Who knew? That was a top 5 defensive. They were more so focused on offense, but I don't understand him. Yeah, I mean, like, people don't like his defense. That's fine. Like, Nimmo shouldn't be playing center. Like, people shouldn't hate Nimmo. Like, he should be in left field regardless. That's more of a Mets problem than a Nimmo problem. What's your thoughts on our skipper? I did not love Rojas in 2020. I'm willing to give him this year. If Rojas is not better this year, goodbye. Because, you know, Cohen's in charge, Sandy's in charge. See you later. Do you think we should change Nimmo's walks to sprints in the stat category? That'd be pretty. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Bauer's low-key overrated, in my opinion. Only had 2 good overs season. Yeah. What's good, my guy? What's up, Jonathan? I understand people thinking Bauer's overrated. I get that. But just the fact that he can do it. Like these other guys, they can't even do it. The fact that Bauer can do it, I'm willing to take a chance. That's just me. I think there's a YouTube video of me being a pest on Joe Beningo. You can find that for book. All right, Lawrence, I'll check it out. See if I can find it. Let's go, Bucks. Do you hate Acuna? No, I don't hate Acuna. I mean, like, I hate playing against Acuna because he's really good, but I can't hate Acuna because he's good. The only way you don't sign Bauer is the Twitter issue and integrity. Yeah, I mean, I hope that the Twitter stuff doesn't bother the Mets too much for making a decision with Bauer, but we'll see. Let's go Mets. Yeah, Jonathan, let's go Mets. I agree, man. Let's make some moves. Let's be good this season. Let's make the playoffs, man. Let's have exciting stuff. Let's make good YouTube content. Let's go Mets. I agree. We should sign Cesc. No. Don't tell the Marlins that. Yeah, no, I understand. They want to hit Acuna with every pitch. I know. Like, the person that I hate playing the most is Juan Soto. Soto is so good. I can't stand playing Juan Soto. He's so good. Rojas needs to be a little more confrontational opposite. Show he's players got their back. He's too self-passive. I agree. Cespedes would have been on $1 million. Who knows? I mean, who would sign Cespedes right now? Like, I wouldn't. I want no part of him. I mean, he's got to be a DH, and even that he was complaining about. So, I mean, Cespedes nothing but problems. Do you think Mets will be traded before opening day? That depends if the Mets add any other pitchers. If they don't, I think the Mets will give him a chance. I mean, the fact that they tendered him a contract makes me think they'll give him a chance. I'll be surprised Bauer does sign Mets because he always loves making moves, and Lindor, Carrasco teammates, uniting them only make more sense. Pass on Bauer. No, I know a lot of people don't like Bauer. I don't know if I'm in the minority per se, but again, I'm just trying to find what way can the Mets make the World Series. And if Bauer is that 2020 or 2018 self, he gives the Mets the best chance. I love Freeman Hammond's player. Yes, I agree. Guillorme for president. Yeah, I love Luis Guillorme. I just want back on the Mary Mills for my jersey. I bought this great. Are you referring to Cespedes, Matt? Yeah, Cespedes. I mean, I just don't want Cespedes back. I understand you got the jersey, but I just don't want him back. I can't take any more Cespedes. He was just so disappointing this year. I mean, COVID or not. Mets have a strong bench. Okay. I mean, they got Guillorme. You got Jose Martinez. You got Malcolm Smith, Sash Herrera. You got Tomas Nido. I don't know. If you played with the Mets, what position would you play? I think being how short I am, I'd have to be either a second baseman or an outfielder. That's probably it. I mean, other than that, I'm not paying a position. He could be that Jose Bautista. I loved Bautista when he was with the Blue Jays because he was so good. But, I mean, Bautista, I expected more out of him when he came to the Mets. I don't know. That was disappointing. He definitely could have been better, no doubt about it. Mets have had so many guys, like we said earlier, they just have not been the same when they get to the Mets that they were earlier in their career. All right, anything else, guys? Steve Cohen has said he's playing long term is why I think they're passing on free agents. Yeah, it's Fair Frank, you got the look. Hey, man, I was a center fielder in middle school, so I guess so. Would have. I don't know which comment you're referring to, Johnny, but all right, I got you. Yeah, I mean, this autocorrect is a pain in the butt. I understand, guys, because I'll be trying to reply to you guys, and autocorrect is always just kicking my butt. I really hate autocorrect. And then, like, I'll try not doing autocorrect, and I spell everything wrong, so I'm like, fine, I'll just keep it. All right, anything else, guys? This way we could maybe hit the hay. JSP is one of the worst signings, or Jed Lowry's worst. Obviously, Mets are on ESPN opening night. I hate it. Yeah, I mean, opening night is always tough on national TV. I think Jason Bayer's worse because the expectations were higher and it was more money, more years. K-Rod, way better. Yes. Oh, Frank Rodriguez was so disappointing. Mets need Bauer to make a run, especially the one with division, because they would have to play the Dodgers and Padres most likely playoffs. Yes. It's been fun. LGM. Yeah, let's go, man. That's what's up, LGM. Yeah, K-Rod was a very disappointing Met. And honestly, like, I kind of feel like Johan was too. I sound messed up for saying this, but Kelenic, a bust to make us look good. I mean, yeah, it definitely would stink if Kelenic was good. Like, if he wasn't good, it wouldn't make the trade as bad, but I feel like he's probably going to be good. Do you think the expanded players are staying? I feel like they probably are. I feel like that's something that owners and just the sport in general is for. So I do think the expanded playoffs are staying. But I personally don't like expanded playoffs. I'm trying to think if there's any new rules I like. Off the top of my head, I don't really like any of the new rules, honestly. Like, all of them, I like the old school baseball. I like no DH. I don't want a guy on second base and extra innings. I don't want expanded playoffs. I'm not for any of that stuff. What's the maximum you would offer JBJ? He went to my alma mater along with Christian Walker Merrifield. They won the World Series in 2010, 2011. Walker, I'm sorry. For Jackie, my max money is probably 10 to 12 million. DH in the NL, there may be. I don't like the DH personally just because I'm used to it. Just the old school fashion. The Mets need the DH. I understand it, but I just like the old school no DH for me. Mets benefit from DH. Yes, they always do. Any who's DH in National League? So far, no. Like, so far, they said that there probably won't be, but there still could be. So we'll see. Are you satisfied with Cohen or should A-Rod? No. No matter what, Cohen will be a better option than A-Rod because A-Rod was out to make a business. He was not out for Met fans. He was out to make the Mets team better. He was out to promote his brand. Cohen was more so for the Met fans. Did the Porter scandal cost Springer, or was it majors that just made? I think it was more so the offer because, like, it's hard to turn down $25 million. I imagine. I mean, if somebody offered me $25 million, but the way I am right now financially, I want $25 million. At least that's me. Nats versus Mets opening day. It's going to be exciting. Is Sonny Gray Suarez the new priority for the Mets? It could be. Again, I need to see the trade package. I have got to see what the Reds are asking for. If Alvarez is in the deal, then no, it's not the priority. I like 10 teams, but have the wild card be a 3-game series. Yes, okay, that's fair. The wild card series were pretty exciting. The best of 3, those were pretty exciting. I liked that. If they were going to put a runner at second base extras, they need to have first one out, not zero. Yeah, the extra inning rule is just dumb. And Arrow wants to beat Jeter. Does he, though? Or does everyone want to be like Jeter and spend no money and get rid of all the good players? Mets 5th place. Oh, Andrew, come on. Don't do that to the Met fans. We're having a tough day. We lost. We didn't get Brad Hand. 5th place. Come on, we're better than that. Oh, JK. I got you, Andrew. I would love to see the wild card series in 2021. Yeah, no, it's fine. We're saying the Bobby Bonilla. Yeah, no. I mean, let's see what Cohen makes happen with that. Maybe he can actually make Bobby Bonilla Day a fun thing. We still got 44 people in here, so you guys are still enjoying it. I mean, I guess I'll keep going. And if you guys still have more questions or things you want to talk about, we can. What are the odds right now in Europe of the DH being used actually in 2021? I would say, I think 60% is where I'm going right now because, like, I can see it happening either way. Cohen not allowed Messi to be 5th place. I hope not. I mean, Cohen said he wants to win. He wants Met fans to be happy. World Series 3 to 5 years. Let's do it, man. We can't be a 5th place team. I mean, Cohen better not let that happen. All righty. Is there any videos you guys want to see this week real quick before we sign off this way? Like, just in case, maybe like, good night, Mets season, just in case there's no rumors, any videos you guys want to see this week in particular, I could consider. If Cohen gets Bauer, does it mean we shift Aaron now? Would you wait till the trade? No. If Cohen gets Bauer, they are not. Frank for SNY, let's go, Brandon. If Cohen gets Bauer, the Mets are not getting Arenado. Like, if they get Bauer, they're not spending that much more money at all, I imagine. Who is the number 2 pitcher right now? It looks like it's Stroman or Carrasco. I mean, it depends on who's performing better, but as of right now, it looks like it's Stroman or Carrasco. I'm hungry for Mets postseason baseball. I am too. I completely agree. What do you think the Mets should really focus on as a team? Personally, I think it's prospects. That's fair. Let's go Mets WFAN video. Okay. All right. I got you. Prospects, they definitely could use more, but I think that what they really need is just more pitching, starting pitching and relief pitching, because the bullpen, they need more arms. Like May, Lugo, Diaz is nice, but you need more, and in the rotation, they need more. Frank, what do you think else for? I love Figgy. Figgy is actually really good. I like the way he breaks down pitching. Figueroa is actually one of the very good analysts on SNY. I like Figueroa a lot on SNY. Will Thornton back in rotation before the first week of June? Doesn't look likely, but who knows? I think baseball starts in May. I really hope not, Matt. I really hope not. Mets offense was better than Dodgers in 2020. Yeah, but again, Tremont, that's my point. Look at the pitching. The Dodgers won the World Series because they had so many different pitchers that they used. The Mets don't have that right now. That's why they need Bauer. Sandy's playing Moneyball? I don't think so. Like, the Mets are going to spend like a big market team eventually. Like, the Brad Hand thing was not a money thing. I guess it was the closer opportunity, which, again, I would have been willing to offer Brad Hand. I said, you want to be a closer? Fine. Like, Diaz, get over it. Like, the thing is that, keep this in mind, guys, with the Nationals, Will Harris and Daniel Hudson are not giving the Nationals a hard time like the way Diaz is giving the Mets a hard time about being the closer. Bullpen was good for the Dodgers. What about the Phillies? I mean, the Phillies are going to be pretty good, but nothing crazy. That's how they won. It doesn't help in the race strikeouts. Now, all the teams that won the championship in the past few years, they did it with pitching. I mean, so, it just doesn't make sense to me why people don't want to have a really good rotation. At least take a shot with Bauer. Like, I mean, you don't know if you don't try. Like, if the Mets don't get Bauer and roll with what they are, they may just be stuck in the second round. But if you get Bauer, at least you know that you have a chance that you could really strike lightning in a bottle and just be a really good team. We need one that big blockbuster trade. Arenado, Sonny Gray, the third baseman, get Bauer. Yeah, no, we could use something big, no doubt. Cano and Diaz for Kalanick. That'd be nice. Phillies are fourth place team, probably fifth. Yeah, I can see the Phillies in fourth place. That's fair. I think the Marlins have to finish last. If the Marlins are third place again, we're in trouble. I'm an S fan, so let's go Brandon. No, that's fine, Andrew. I don't mind that you're a Nationals fan. When you see Pete Armstrong making it to the majors, I want to say 2023. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see how his bat does. Like, that's another thing too, guys. Like, we need a minor league season because there was no minor league season. So we don't know how Pete Crow and these guys are performing right now. So if the Mets could actually see a minor league season to know where our guys are progressing, that'd be huge. So Pete Armstrong, I'm excited for it because he can play defense and Mets need defense in center field. So I'm all for Pete Armstrong, but he is left-handed. So guys that don't want Jackie because he's left-handed, Pete Armstrong is left-handed. So it's going to be a problem in center field regardless. And guess what, guys? Kalanick is left-handed. So no matter what, Mets, we're going to have a left-handed center fielder. In our team, 3 years, Pete Crow, Allen, Beatty, Ginn, Mauricio, Matt Down. I'm excited. It sounds good. You're right. He wanted to choose someone else. Mets offered 2 years, I heard. Yeah, like, I don't understand how, I mean, the Mets, I don't know. I really would have wanted Brad Hand, but whatever. Mets every year, 20-10 by May. Coach, yes, I agree, Tremont. Matthew would be an extra ground. That'd be great. What skipper was good Valentine in 2015 World Series Mets skipper? Mets Valentine. I mean, I didn't see Valentine, so I can't really comment on him. But I guess Terry Collins only did a pretty good job. But I think that was more so that the pitching was great. I think that the Mets pitching was a bigger reason for their success than Terry Collins overall. McNeil, Dom Smith for Pujols, it's a win-win. No, that's not a win-win at all. Soto, what about Soto? He's a pain in the butt. The Padres are the only team that could trade for Trout or Soto. I guess so because they do have the farm system, but I don't think that's something the Padres are looking at right now. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you never know with baseball. The Padres have made so many moves this offseason. They're going to be really, really, really good. Like, I like that the Padres, you know what? Dodgers won the World Series. Let's go after them. That's what I want to see the Mets do with the Braves. If Mets going to make a run, they need to be good in June, at least 5,000. Yeah, no, the Mets have got to be good June or July. Mets going to finish fifth this year. Fernando, come on. Juan Acuna. I think Soto. Soto's bat is so good, and also just his approach is phenomenal. The way this guy could just take pitches and take walks. Acuna, he sometimes he's a little swing and miss too much, so I like Juan Soto. Even though Acuna is better defensively and better, in the field, and obviously better in the field, but, better on the bases, I meant to say. Soto is just so good at the plate. Do you see Bartolo playing for ML team in 2021, or is Chris Sadley over now? If Bartolo is going to play, I think that it would be for the Mets. That's probably it. And maybe on a minor league deal, but that's what I'm thinking. Do I think Bauer's ability to pitch every 4 days being undervalued? I think that the Bauer thing, if anything, is actually a bad thing because teams ideally they want to have 5-star pitchers. And if Bauer wants to pitch every 4 days, that affects the whole team. That affects DeGrom, Carrasco, Stroman, all these guys. I don't think they want Bauer and want to pitch every 4th day. That's not good. Is Buxton a good fit for Mets? Yes, he's right-handed. He can play really good center field defense. I just want to see what they want to do for the package. Phillies look so bad giving Harper that contract 1 year, and they want to get rid of Wheeler somewhat too. Yeah, I don't know if the Wheeler stuff was necessarily true, but so far Harper contract is looking good for them because they're not doing that well. What's next for Braves? I think it has to be keeping Marcell Ozuna. I mean, that's what I imagine their priority should be. Soto has performed better against DeGrom than Acuna. Yeah, Soto is a pain against DeGrom. Which World Series team was better 2000 Mets or 2015 or same? I want to say 2015 only because 2015 had a realistic chance at winning it all. I feel 2000, from what I know, it looked like the Yankees were going to win that series. Even though the Mets were close, the 2015 Mets had such a good chance. And you know what team I think is really good is 2016 that really should have won the World Series. I confused Keon Broxton with Byron Buxton. Oh my gosh, no, definitely not Keon Broxton. We want Byron Buxton, no doubt. If Cohen was the owner last year, do you think we kept Wheeler? I think so, because Cohen has said that he wants to really maintain the young core and guys that the Mets already have. So I think that Cohen would try to have kept Wheeler. Mets keep Davis at third until deadline when we're at first in the division. They need to make big splash against the playoffs. That's possible, Tim. Like if the Cubs or Rockies don't move Arenado or Bryant and the Mets don't do anything big now, who knows? Maybe trade deadline. Arenado or Bryant can end up here. Ozuna doesn't look like it fits the Mets simply because we have Alonso and Smith at DH. Yeah, I mean, like if the Mets want to be comfortable with keeping Nimmo in center field, if there is a DH and stuff like that, you could bring Ozuna on. I just don't think that's their top priority right now. I feel like Bauer is more realistic than Ozuna because of the positions they play. Aren't the Braves a low melee market team? Honestly, if the Braves were kicking the tires on JT Realmuto, I don't think they're a low market team at all. I think the Braves still are going to spend. Arenado's trade value wouldn't be too high with the contract, right? I mean, that's what I imagine, because with the pandemic right now, no team's really looking to take on any crazy contracts. So I understand that. Then we had, yeah. So I mean, Arenado, like it'd be more of a money move. Like that's why Colorado wants to get rid of him. It's for the money. So I mean, it would be a big contract though. It would put the Mets over the tax. I feel like the Wilpons are still the owners. I wouldn't say that quite yet. I think, guys, that like let's say when the Mets do re-sign Lindor and they re-sign Conforto, Mets are going to do more stuff this offseason. I feel like we'll feel better about the team and we won't say as much like bad things about Cohen. I feel like we'll change our mindset that. If we get Bauer pitching's best in the league, pitching was championship, whole visitation league. Yeah, I agree completely. Fly goes, we need good pitching, we need the DH, and let's go. See what happens. Would you trade Conforto if we don't have him signed by trade down? Mets are out of the division race. I mean, that's an interesting one. Like, if you know for sure the Mets are not going to resign him and they're out of it, might as well get something back for him. But I feel like the Mets are going to resign him, so I don't think that's going to be a thing. I hope that's not a thing. Mets trade for Arenado, tell restructure the contract. You make $10 million this year, off that next year, give him a different contract. Arenado is not restructuring. I mean, there's no way he does that. He would be crazy to restructure that contract. Do you watch Draft Night Mark? Yes, I do watch Draft Night Mark. Actually, a good story about Draft Night Mark is that when I first started the channel, I started this channel in June of 2019. When the Mets signed Porcello and Waka in December, Draft Night Mark actually commented on my video. He said, good job, man. He hasn't commented ever since, so I don't know if I stopped doing good videos, but I watch Draft Night Mark all the time. I know he's doing COVID right now, and I tweeted at him, like, I hope you get better. I do hope he gets better because COVID is a terrible thing right now, and he's a good dude. You know, he makes a lot of good baseball content. He definitely inspires. Do you watch Fuzzy? I watch Fuzzy too. Yes, I watch a lot of the baseball YouTubers. Yep, I do watch Fuzzy a lot. Yep. If we trade for now, they should include Marquez. Yeah, we need the pitching. Well, who do you feel should be the Mets starting first baseman in 2021 if the Mets do addition, Alonso or Smith? I think Alonso, because he has that upside of the power. I love Arenado, but more because defense, offense. Yeah, that's fair. The pain being a Mets fan. Yes, Frank, I completely agree. The pain of being a Mets fan. No doubt about it. 2 collapse years after 2006. Yeah, let's not even talk about 07 and 08. Those years were completely brutal. I mean, those were so sad. Where do you think Marcell Ozuna will land? I think it has to be the Braves. I'm going to stick with that because, like, he was so good for the Braves. He almost won the Triple Crown. The Braves have got to try to maintain him. They really have got to try to keep him. So I think he has to stay there. Unless some team offers him a crazy amount of money, the Braves don't want to. Like, maybe an American League team, since they know they have the DH, is more willing to do it. But I feel like Ozuna should land with the Braves. Do you think the Blue Jays regret Schaefer? I think, yeah. I mean, the fact that Ari Dickey was not nearly as good as he was with the Mets. Noah Syndergaard was good at 15, was good at 16. Like, think about it. The Toronto Blue Jays, they almost made the World Series when the Mets played the Royals. The Mets almost faced the Blue Jays. They would have had Noah instead of us having Noah, and Darno became a silver slugger with the Braves. Nick Markakis, any good? Not anymore, man. He definitely is getting older. He's not near the player he once was. How can we get rid of the Braves, man? How can we get rid of the Braves? Let's get Bauer. Let's get more good players and just become better than them. Let's take Melanson. Let's take Green. Let's get better. Like, let's get more players. Nasty at third baseman and a catcher. Who do you think they will get? I think that the Nationals could be the team that maybe talks to the Cubs about either Chris Bryant or Wilson Contreras. I think that's possible. Mets. Yes, let's go Mets. Do you see Alonso ever being able to play another position in the coming years? Is the outfield not a fit for him? If Alonso is ever going to play another position, it probably would be third base since he played that in college. I don't think Alonso moves well enough with his feet to be in the outfield. I mean, the Braves were unwilling to pay Duvall. I don't know if Ozuna would resign. I mean, Ozuna, like, I think he has so much value. Cleveland include Carrasco. It's all right. Indians. Obviously, it's all right. Colorado includes Marquez. That's fair. I agree. I mean, Marquez would definitely be a really nice addition. But the problem is that you're giving them more prospects. And again, like, in order to do a trade, you have to move Cano's contract or Familia or Betances. It's so hard to move them. Brian said Blue Jays makes too much sense. No, that's fair too. I mean, Brian said Blue Jays is very, very realistic. I agree with that. No doubt about it. I mean, I imagine that one of them are going to get moved, Bryant and or Contreras. We'll see. Alonso's out of shape. He has to stay at first. Yeah. Mets skipper brother was part of the collapse Mets most of the. I liked watching Lou because of his batting stance, but no, that's true. Lou was part of the team that collapsed, no doubt about it. Who's our next GM? I'm thinking it's going to be Zach Scott, just because he should be promoted and he was the runner-up to the GM anyway. Unless like there's some really great candidates next offseason if the Mets don't promote Scott. That's what I'm thinking. If the Mets go to the postseason, I feel as if the Mets should really invest in Max Scherzer. Let's see. What do I think about the Brewers? What do I think about the NL Central? Okay, so the Brewers, I think that the Brewers, like, they'll win regular season games, but the Brewers are not getting to the World Series. Like, the Brewers are not that good, especially in their lineup, especially in their rotation. Like, their Central just stinks. So the Brewers will win games, but I'm not crazy about the Brewers. And the Central in general stinks. Like, I like the Cardinals, but again, like, when you look at the Cardinals or the Cubs or the Brewers or the Reds, they just don't compare to Padres, Dodgers, Braves, maybe even Mets. Like, that's just the way I think about it. Mets. Let's see what we got. If Steve Cole gives A-Rod the GM job, I think if I'd left Cole gives A-Rod GM, that'd be crazy. Speaking of Cano, do you see the Mets? Mets skipper is good to give him. I think that the Mets could end up buying out Cano because what's going to happen is that, like, in the next couple off seasons, the Mets are going to be like, we have got to get rid of this guy. Like, we just have to buy him out. Like, what else are we going to do? We need to get rid of this money. He's taking up McNeil's spot. Bauer doesn't put the Dodgers. He has a 350 rate. Come on, let's be realistic here. No, I understand that, Fernando, but I'm just saying that Bauer could have a 2 RA. Like, it's not impossible, but, like, who else can do that? Like, I feel like you just have to take the chance. Who else can do it? Yelich and Hader are the only superstars they got. No, it's true. Braves for his Nationals, Marlins, and Mets this year's NL East standings. No, come on. Mets aren't going to be last place. I mean, they better not, because if they are, we'll be all over them. Braves are a better team, but I think the Mets have a better chance if both teams go to the postseason. Yeah, I mean, like, the Mets are always tricky once they get there. That's the main thing. Just get to the postseason. That's always the main key for them. If Aaron's GM, they would release their ground. Who knows? Cano potentially could be an ex Bonilla deferred contract. I mean, that's probably what it would have to be as far as a buyout. It would have to be probably Bobby Bonilla style, unfortunately. Did you see Mark's video of him yelling? Because yes, no, I did see Mark, and like I completely agree with him because like I agree. Like people are all over Mark because he likes Bauer. I like Bauer too. Like I don't understand why so many people don't. You need some mods. I mean, yeah, I mean there's spam going on. I could tell, but I mean whatever. It's not a big deal. As long as people aren't saying like bad to other people or to me or not harmful or anyway. Like if they want to spam Mets, I don't really care. Braves, Nats, or Mets. As far as like who's the best, the Braves still are the best, but obviously I'm rooting for the Mets. But I mean, the Braves are still very, very good. Like the Braves easily could have been the World Series, probably could have won it all. Like they had the Dodgers on the ropes in that NLCS. So that's something to really consider. And don't forget Soroka's going to come back. Bauer's good, but for 35, 40 minutes. No, I agree. No, I didn't say pay him Cole money. I never, ever, ever said pay him Cole money. I just said try to get him hopefully under the tax. What do you think of black jerseys? I want them back in the worst way. I love the black jerseys. I can't believe that there are people that don't like the black jerseys. Like, what? You like the normal Mets jerseys that are always the same? Do you see Trump running for president in 2024? I mean, if he's not impeached, I see him running. Like, he's a guy that doesn't back down. So, I mean, will he win? Probably not, but I see him running. Who did the Braves trade to the Diamondbacks for Swanson? I can't remember. That was a steal. Yeah, it was some pictures. I can't remember the exact. I want to say, I don't know if it was I think Shelby Miller was in that deal or Robbie Ray. It was like one of those guys I think was in the Dansby Swanson trade. Alonso and Davis for Arenado. I don't want to get rid of Alonso. Natural rotation is obviously really, really good. I mean, the fact that they still have Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin, I imagine they'll add more to it since, they lost Anibal Sanchez right now. Mets skipper is good. Give him a chance. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I hope so. Both the Mets do need to make one more big move. Like I said, I think it's Bauer. Maybe it's Arenado. Maybe it's Sonny Gray. Maybe it's Bryant. The Craig MLB for doctoring the baseball. Any Mets pitchers in this group? Bauer was naming names. Yeah, who knows? I mean, we'll see if they do anything to the baseball game. Will they juice it? Will they change it? Maybe make it more beneficial for pitchers? We'll see. We want Utley. I mean, yeah, to hit him with the ball. Yes. Choose 28 for Bauer. 48 for Bauer. Yeah, that'd be really good. I need the Mets to extend Lindor so I can buy a jersey. I'm afraid. Yeah, I agree, Matt. I'm not buying the jersey until they extend him. That Bauer played with low teams last year. Only had 16. If he played teams like Nats, I agree, Gabriel. But the Cy Young, whatever, tough one. No, I agree, Gabriel. But oh, sorry, John Lester. That's true. I forgot they assigned John Lester. That's a good point. Lester, to me, I don't think he's that good anymore, Andrew. Like, let me know how you feel about Lester. I think Lester is over the hill. I was not excited about that. I was like, Lester? All right, whatever. I think he's done, honestly. But the thing about Bauer is, don't forget 2018. He was really good then, too. And, don't forget the playoff start he had against the Braves. If anyone could do that in the playoffs against the Braves, the Mets need that kind of pitcher. Mets have any interest in latest crop of Cuban players? I mean, I hope so. The Mets have not really done anything with the international. Are the Gray Suarez trade rumors real? I think it's a fair question because you know what? We saw someone from Mets Mesmerize mention it, and I'm not saying that he's not accurate, but I don't know. Not many other people have really talked about it, so I don't know how real those rumors quite are. Was Utley safe during the slide? Was he out? He was out. That slide was really, really dirty. That was just so ridiculous. You like last year in the 4 spot? No, I mean, no, that's fair. I understand that. I always put my name on the back of jerseys, yes, the black one, because not going anywhere. That's smart because all these other guys, I mean, they're gone so bad. I feel bad for Bauer. That man had 12 strikeouts. Yeah, no, that's true, Matt. Honestly, the Reds in general, everybody talked about the Reds because of their rotation with Bauer and Gray and Castillo, and the Reds offense did nothing in the playoffs. That really sucked. I need some water. Hang on a second. But hopefully the Mets giving the ground run support could be a thing more common because they actually did that pretty well this offseason. Natural rotation or Braves rotation? Honestly, Andrew, I got to say Braves. Braves rotation is young. I mean, when you got Soroka, you got Fried. Anderson looked like a beast. Wright has high upside. I love Moore in the playoffs. So I like the Braves rotation more, honestly. If you put Landa in their place, I would love him the day I die. I mean, you got who? What other pitcher could do what Bauer did to the Braves in the playoffs? I mean, who else could do it? Mets need a walk. No, I agree, man. Yeah, it's a lot of talking for, what is it, 2 hours, 18 minutes straight, this stuff. You think the Nets? I mean, Angela, that's fine. Their top of the rotation is very good, but I think the Braves rotation could be better just because, those guys are so young, and Soroka and Fried are beasts. Anderson looks like he's on the rise. Kyle Wright's supposed to be really good, and Charlie Morton gets it done when it matters most. So I like the Braves rotation personally. So we'll see. But both teams have good rotations, no doubt about it. When was the last time a Mets catcher threw someone out? I'd like to know. It's extremely rare. And I hope that changes with McCann. McCann, we're going to be on him because he's supposed to be better defensively. Is his pitch framing going to be better? Is he actually going to throw runners out because they call him McCannon? We'll see. I hope McCann is better. What the heck do the Mets do next, bro? I mean, I'm thinking it's Jackie. If it's not Jackie, I'm thinking it's Bauer. I mean, that's kind of where it is right now. You know what would be cool one day? If the Mets pulled the statue to ground next to Stevie, it'll happen one day. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if the Mets actually put a Stevie statue. Every spring training, I went I went in 2019. I went in 2018. I would have went in 2020 had there been no pandemic, and I bet every money on me that I would have been there this year if there was no pandemic. I love spring training. I love being in Florida in general, but I want to go back to spring training so bad. But I've been there twice. I love being at spring training. It's so much fun. Just everything about it. It's just fun. I really do like spring training a lot. And I can't wait for it to start, and hopefully it starts on time. It better start on time because if it doesn't, baseball will look like a complete embarrassment with all the other sports that have been going on, COVID or not. Will there be fans this year? There has to be because, again, all these other sports are having fans. Even if it's limited capacity, they got to do that. McCann is a cool name, but he better have a McCannon. Jackie's asking for a huge contract. I have seen that, but, I mean, if he wants a big contract, then we can't get him. Sam Rose, amazing. You think it's going to happen with fans this year? I hope so a little bit. Max Scherzer or DeGrom? Andrew, it's a tough one, but I think DeGrom. I think DeGrom is slightly better than Scherzer because of the stress that he's under constantly with the Mets not giving him the run support. And I just think that we look at the ERA. For me, ERA is my tell-all stat. At least for me, I really believe a lot in ERA, and DeGrom is the ERA guy. Are Steve and Gary related? I'm pretty sure they aren't. I don't think they are. It seems like Cohen's a pretty popular name because fans of spring training. Yeah, that'd be nice. When the Mets signed Bauer, they got Scherzer next year on a 1-year deal. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, Bauer, Scherzer, the rotation, that'd be awesome. NBA literally had 2 more offseason is traveling, no problem. Yeah, Luis, and the same thing with football, same thing with hockey. These other sports are going on. Yes, they've had COVID, but they're going on. So there's honestly, there's zero excuse. Not even a % of an excuse. Would you sign Scherzer next year since he's a free agent? If Scherzer's anything close to the way he's been in the past, yeah, definitely. You think Lindor will have an above-average season in the Mets 2021 playoff spot, and Mets need another like him to the World Series again? I think Lindor can do it. Would you deal for Kane? I would like to see if I could get Buxton first. I'd like to see if I could get Laureano first. I'd like to see if I could get Jackie Bradley first, but I would be willing to get Lorenzo Kane. Mets or Nats rotation. As of right now, Nationals. And the Mets rotation, if they got Bauer, if Stroman was good, if Syndergaard could be good, Mets could be in there with the Nationals. That's right now. I would lean Nationals just because Scherzer's a beast, Strasburg's a beast, and Corbin's really good. I'm back and it's my birthday. Jeremy, I thought you were going to bed, man. Get some sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We should all be in bed right now, guys. What are we doing? Because I live in New York, but, we'll keep going. Lindor MVP? It's possible. Lindor definitely is an MVP candidate. And I think that Lindor, if he's going to be a Met for a long time, I feel like eventually he's bound to win MVP. So that would be really cool if he could do that. Do you think Nats made the right decision signing Strasburg instead of trading him for much prospects? Yeah, because I mean Strasburg, like he did the Nationals such a solid in the World Series, winning the MVP. Like you had to pay the man. At least do what is right. McCann kind of reminds me of Paul LaDuca, former base. Yeah, I know who LaDuca is, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think McCann has that temper that LaDuca. Like LaDuca stood up for his players. I don't know if McCann is going to do that. How do you feel about Lucchesi trade? I like the Lucchesi trade a lot. The Mets didn't give up too much, and he could be the 5th starter and could make a difference for this team. Difference between Cohen and Wilpon. Cohen signed McCann. Wilpons would be negotiating with Brian McCann. That's a good one. Showman's energy. I like Showman's energy too. 24-hour stream. Listen, if my throat didn't hurt, if I wasn't like my voice wasn't getting tired, I would keep going. That's bullpen thoughts. I mean, it's better now with Brad Hand. I mean, I like Will Harris. I like Daniel Hudson. We'll see if they bring back Sean Doolittle. It's not bad. It's better than the Phillies. I mean, it's probably right there with the Mets. It's pretty close. Showman Arenado working out, that's so tempting to see. I did see that, Matt. But, I mean, Showman Arenado working out are one thing, but then, like, taking on the contract and what prospects Colorado wants back is another thing. So, we'll see. But I did see that. That's a good point with Showman Arenado working back. Offseason loser this year. Oh, who's going to be an offseason loser? I think as of right now, to me, I still think it's the Angels. Like, the Angels are under such immense pressure having Mike Trout. If they don't do anything, like, I don't know, they got to make something big. You're buying into Mats this year. Would he be in the bullpen or Lucchesi? I feel like Mats could go back, and once you know if Showman goes to Colorado, that's a good one, Gabriel. I feel like Mats could have a bounce back. I don't think Mats has bullpen stuff. But I think that Lucchesi has bullpen stuff because someone brought up earlier, like Lucchesi and Lugo having that movement. I feel like Lucchesi has much more bullpen potential than Steven Matz does. Nats lineup thoughts. Nats made decent moves. They did. I mean, I like the Nationals lineup because, like I said, they have Trey Turner. Obviously, you have Soto. You had a Josh Bell. You had a Kyle Schwarber. Victor Robles is a pesky out. The Nationals lineup is good. I feel like it could use a little more, though, whether it's at catcher or third base. We'll see if Carter Keyboom turns out to be the big guy that he's supposed to be. We'll see about that, though. Lucchesi might be a left-hand pitcher, but we need. That's why hand to seem is bad for them. I don't know if Lucchesi will be that. Do you see Corey Oswald making a pen regular in 2021? I hope not. Corey Oswald really is not that good. I hope he does not pitch a single inning because if he does, that means that the Mets pitching is not performing again. All right, anything else? I think 1 o'clock. I feel like we got to end eventually, guys. Like, I mean, I love talking to you guys, but eventually we gotta cut it, man. We'll do another one. We'll be back, no doubt. But I think we might end it there. 1 o'clock. I said I stopped at 12, and now we're at 1. Braves lineup thoughts. I remember when I first started walking along. Yeah, I do too, man. Braves lineup is definitely very, very, very good. They need to bring back Ozuna, though. He's like that big bat right in the middle. But, yeah, trade him then. Oh, Mats, yeah, I mean, I guess you could. Braves bullpen, least like Met John Franco. Oh, John Franco, that's an interesting one. The Braves bullpen, like, they need to bring back Melanson. They need to bring back Shane Green or Darren O'Day. Like, they have Will Smith, but they need more. What are your thoughts that the Yankees call his BFF and Kluber? Yeah, with Tyone and Kluber, I mean, let's see. Let Frank go to sleep, my guys. Yeah. Let Frank sleep. We all need to sleep. Don Smith, big year. I can see Don Smith having a big year. Another one this year. Great in the Mets talk. Yeah, but with Tyone and Kluber, like, they both have upside. It was good moves for the Yankees. I liked them doing better with that compared to bringing back their other guys. But, I mean, I think those are good moves for the Yankees. All right, Night Frank, Nationals lineup or Braves. I like the Braves lineup better than the Nationals, Andrew. I just think that the Braves, I mean, with Albies and Acuna and Freddie Freeman and even d'Arnaud, Nats bullpen or Braves. As of right now, I would say Nationals because the Braves have to re-sign their guys. But if the Braves re-sign their guys, I think it could be them because those are Chris Martin. We won't know Bauer's decision except on YouTube. Yeah, I agree. Good night, Matt. Yeah, good night, man. All right, guys, I think I will have to end it there. I think I'm going to put my foot down. I think I got to end it right there. So thank you again, guys. Awesome stream. Definitely was good for the first stream. We will be doing this more in the future. So be on the look for that. Again, suggest what the videos you guys want to see. Make sure to like the videos, comment them, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you guys really love me, watch the ads if I could ever get them on there without being copyright strike, because that's the only way I'd be able to make even like a couple pennies out of it. So love all you guys. I will see you in whatever the next stream is, or if there's a video tomorrow, maybe if the Mets do anything, we will see. But good night, everyone. Let's go, Mets.